Hello and welcome to Cutting Through the Bull in the Post-Truth Apocalypse. I'm Dan and as always I'm joined by Gaz.
Hello.
And Mike.
Hello.
Today we're going to take a look at the Titanic conspiracy, which I found quite interesting this week.
Yeah?
Not the film.
Not the film and not doing the film.
Welcome to movie reviews.
I might reference a night to remember the 1958 Titanic film, which is actually a damn sight better than the 1997. You ever seen that?
No, I haven't.
Oh well, I got brought up.
Can I just? So can I get it out of my system right at the start? Every night in my dreams. Sorry. That was my research. I listened to Celine Dion.
Oh man.
over and over.
Well,
has anyone ever seen this? I thought I'd just play it now. Titanic in 5 seconds.
okay, go on.
You got the mic on?
Yeah.
But this ship can't sink.
Go and check that out. It's on YouTube. It's called Titanic in almost 5 seconds. It'll literally take almost 5 seconds.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
That was lovely.
This ship can't sink.
Right, so before we get into the main thrust of this week's subject, we will go through some weird news that we found on the internet. This will take anywhere from half an hour, 40 minutes. We'll break for a piss, and then we'll get on to the main thrust of it. Thrust. So what we got to start with then, from the Independent, German man suspected of killing 21 colleagues in poison sandwich plot, police say.
Oh my gosh.
Employee caught on video putting powder in lunchbox, prompting investigation into more than 20 deaths at the company since 2000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he really didn't get on with his co-worker.
No, we were on a bit off air, our co-workers, and what dicks they can be. This guy's taking it to a whole new level. A German worker was allegedly caught on camera poisoning a colleague's lunch, prompting authorities to investigate the deaths of 21 other employees. Police have arrested a 56-year-old man on suspicion of trying to kill his colleagues at RAI Armaturen, which makes industrial components such as valves in the town of Schloss-Holter-Stukenbrock.
Wow, what a name that is.
Yeah. It's quite impressive, my German pronunciation. Then that A-level German that I failed miserably when I was 18 really paid off on that.
It did.
More than 20 employees have died before retirement since the turn of the millennium, many of them from heart attacks, which could have been potentially brought on by heavy metal poisoning. Now that's the way to go. Heavy metal poisoning! Listen to too much Iron Maiden, have a heart attack.
Basically, you get poisoned, and as you're dying, you start doing very high-pitched wails. You develop very big curly hair.
Yeah. That's actually doing for me.
Your hand is formed into a rictus devil horns that will never be...
Oh man, what's up with his hands are in the devil horns? Yeah, heavy metal poison. He's like rigor mortis in, like tongue out.
Fucking awesome.
The suspect had been seen on a security camera opening a colleague's lunchbox and putting a substance onto the sandwich inside, police said in a statement. The colleague had noticed something smeared on his lunch and notified his managers, who in turn called the police. Now, 20 people dying of heart failure at this plant, and they're going, well, it could be heavy metal poison. Like, why are we getting poisoned at work? Why haven't you given me some kind of fucking mask?
Yeah, it was a few days before retirement as well.
I was only 2 days away from retirement.
I thought that only happened in like action movies, buddy cop movies. Too old for this shit.
Do you think he's hired by the CEO to poison the people just before they retire, so they have to, give them a gold watch or something?
And give them a full pension.
There you go, yeah.
Well, they have to pay out, but they wouldn't get a full pension.
Were these single people with no next of kin?
Well, that's another issue.
Oh,
Because in America, some companies are taking life insurance out on their patients, their staff.
yeah. And then killing them.
No, and they're dying, and they're making money off their own workers' deaths.
Man, that's low.
Yeah, don't you think there's a bit of a conflict of interest there?
Low or incredibly shrewd and clever business.
It's a bit of both, isn't it? I suppose.
Because look, everyone's gonna fucking die. And if you're the boss looking at your factory floor, look at these sacks of shit costing me money doing fuck all. Well, they're all gonna die one day, aren't they? What if I had life insurance?
Yeah.
I think it's a genius move, personally.
What if they start killing their own staff?
Well, then that's an awesome plot to a detective novel, isn't it?
You know, just go and clean that big vat, Gerald.
Oh no, the acid! Oh.
Why don't you take the company car this weekend, Joe? Oh, really? You're going to let me drive the company Merc? Of course I am.
Yeah.
Got the brakes.
Got the fucking brakes, obviously, yeah.
Because then you get an insurance for the car and him.
And, so, and you say to Gerald's next of kin, his widow, this is why I never let Gerald take the company car.
He was a drunk.
I didn't want to tell you, Mary, but, he would be sipping from his hip flask. Every opportunity.
Yeah, you hide 20 bottles of gin in the car. Look.
Oh, just on a side note, just my good lady dropped me off here at Mike's flat, and I had an open can of beer in the car because I'm a responsible British functioning alcoholic.
Nothing wrong with road beers.
Nothing wrong with road beer if you're not the one driving.
Exactly.
And I handed it to her when she pulled up. I was like, hold that a sec. Well, I was doing something. I was like, oh, actually, you shouldn't do that. And she said, mentioned the name of town that Mike lives in. And was like, I'm sure it's fine round here. Yeah.
It's Telford.
It's probably a common thing to see a nice young lady with two nice kids in the back drinking a can of lager as she drives.
I don't think it's that bad. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it's a very, very nice part of town.
It's alright.
So anyway, what was he smearing on them? Did it say?
Let's have a scroll down. It was a powdery substance. It doesn't actually say, I don't think. Oh, hang on. It's it's tests by the regional criminal office indicated the substance on the bread was toxic lead
acetate.
Acetate. Well done. A highly toxic and nearly tasteless substance. And there was enough of it to cause severe organ damage. That's not a nice.
That's what I mean. I think he's been paid to bump them off. All of them just before retirement. All 20 of them.
Well, fire brigade experts found mercury, lead, and cadmium in the suspect's apartment in Bielefeld. Well, that's a football team, isn't it?
It is.
Well, it's either a plot from the powers above that are trying to bump these people off just before retirement, or this guy. I mean, obviously he's sick, but maybe he's extra sick. Because he's thinking, these fuckers, the only thing that's kept them going these last 10 years is the thought of that retirement. I am going to retire and finally start living. I'm going to be free. My time will be my own. Finally. I will not be on the clock. I will not be beholden to clocking in and clocking out. I'll be my own man. No, you won't. I'm going to take it from you.
But he must have started this, if he was 56. 18 from 56, anybody?
38, yeah.
So he started this when he was 38. So it's been since 2000.
But do you see what I'm saying though? Why pick on the retirees? Is it just that sick thing of like, I'm taking that from you?
Maybe.
It's the one thing you've been looking for. That's the cat for anybody listening. We have a studio cat.
There's a studio cat.
If you don't like it, listen to Radio 4.
They don't have a studio cat.
No, they don't.
Or drug overdoses.
Yeah, live on air. The Bernard Manning of podcasts. Oh, I came up with another one. The internet's premier peddlers of paranoia.
Oh!
Because I was thinking the other day.
Alliteration, I like it.
When listening to Conspiracy Radio, Ground Zero Media, the thought did occur to me that all conspiracy theories essentially spreading paranoia, isn't it? If you're on a big stage like they are.
Oh, yeah.
It's essentially an Alex Jones whipping people up into states of paranoia to listen to your product and give you money.
We don't do paranoia that much.
No. But I just think any conspiracy theory is essentially paranoia, isn't it?
Yeah.
It should be fun. I was also thinking about this the other day. Conspiracy theory should be fun. Joining up dots that aren't necessarily connected. It's like writing stories. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's when you end up in a bed sit alone.
Trying to hack the NSA.
Yeah, with tin foil in your mouth. to protect your teeth. That's when it's gone too far. When
And around your nuts to stop the satanic waves from the TV making you sterile.
Yeah, people do take this shit too seriously as well. But anyway, back to the murderous German guy. Not that one. A different one.
Been quite a few high-profile ones though.
Oh yeah, was the shooty man? No, he was Swedish, wasn't he? I'm thinking.
Yeah, Anders Breivik. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's Swedish.
He's just in
That
prison,
white
isn't
supremacist who shot a load of white people to prove about white supremacy.
he? Yeah.
Didn't think that one through, did he?
What a dick.
Yes.
But they won't kill him, will they?
No, life sentence.
Ah, well.
Police said the man had long tried to produce toxic substances, including heavy metal compounds, using substances in his home. Authorities broadened the investigation after other cases of illness at the company in recent years emerged. 2 employees are in a coma, another man is on dialysis.
Fucking hell.
If you're at work and you're, oh fucking hell, where's Hans today? Oh, didn't you hear he's in a coma? Oh, where's Friedrich? Oh, he's got his dialysis day today. What the fuck is everyone getting ill around here for? Wouldn't you be thinking that?
Yeah.
You know,
Depends
why
how
is,
big the company is.
well, yeah, but even so, you'd be like,
If there's
in that
50 employees and half of them are dead or in a coma, then you would start to worry.
Yeah, I'd be like, well, I'm not working here because I'm going to end up in a coma.
I've only got 3 years of retirement, I'm not going to make it.
What are you doing in my lunchbox?
That is a shitter though. Spending your retirement on dialysis.
Yeah.
Or in a
Spend
coma.
any time on dialysis, in all fairness.
Well, yeah, my dear old dad has to do dialysis, so it's not an easy. It's a life changer.
Don't you have to go like so many? Is it twice a week or
I
something
think
like that?
so. Yeah, he's been today actually. Yeah, he did do it from home.
You can do it from home, can't you?
But it's complicated.
Doesn't suit
man.
everybody.
No, his skin didn't take to the. They literally put something inside, so he has like a tap sticking out of his side that you plug the machine into, but the skin around it just wouldn't heal properly. He just kept getting infected, so they took all that out, and he actually goes to the hospital and has it done now. But he's healthy apart from that. He's so yeah. What I'm saying. So this guy then, that's a hell of a turn up for the books that this guy happens to. Not the murderer, the guy who noticed on his sandwich that there was a substance that he didn't recognise. I didn't put that there. I made these fucking
I
sandwiches.
didn't sprinkle a mixture of lead and cadmium over my sandwiches this morning.
Yeah. So then I guess they would have just shut the factory down and searched everyone, and then that's where they found.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
He got away with it for a fucking long time, though, didn't he?
18 years.
He must have felt so untouchable.
I mean, the thing is,
They're never going to work this out.
Yeah.
it says here there was a strikingly high amount of heart attacks and cancers among the death cases in the company. I mean, that's like, so you're in that place and everyone's getting cancer, and you go, I'm gonna fucking stay here at work, am I? Everyone's getting cancer.
Yeah, but look at the economy, you can't just stroll out of a job, can you?
Think I might stroll out of that one.
Hey, but the news tells me that Germany has an amazing economy. The best in the world,
Yeah, but the world's still in recession.
I guess.
I think China's the only one that isn't.
China, you can't walk out of a job there, can you?
Well, no, because you get told to fucking go back to it until you get shot.
Yeah, that was my point.
But you're also working like 16-hour days, so fuck all. Well, not in every case, I assume. But...
Well, look at the fucking iPhone.
Oh, we've mentioned that before, where these workers
Suicide
jumping
nets.
off the fucking roof, so the Chinese come up with this brilliant idea of, oh, I guess put some nets up.
Yeah, well, I was
They
thinking.
improve the working conditions or pay.
I was thinking about it this morning. I went to the premier clothing outlet, Primark.
Yeah.
Bought a few nice socks. Ben has been commenting. I'm wearing a pair of pink socks, which is causing Ben some
yellow bananas on,
some-
and they look camp as hell.
They're causing him some. Yeah, but I'm comfortable in my sexuality, so I'm happy wearing them. The fact that they make you uncomfortable tells me that you love cocks in your ass, Ben.
They don't make me uncomfortable, guys. It's more the fact that
How
the
about if I
fuck you
wave
wearing
them
them
around?
for? It's more...
They're socks. Anyway, back to my
I
Primark
like them,
story.
Gaz.
Thanks, Mike.
I've got Thor and Iron Man on my socks. Get some proper socks.
Look at him. He needs the God of Thunder on there to like, yeah, I'm a god.
Well, you want the God of Thunder on your socks?
I'm manly like Thor.
Here I am.
On his
Yeah.
armoured steed.
So,
Thor doesn't have an armoured steed.
No, but you do.
When?
it's
You
your
got
dog
a
with a
dog
saddle.
fucking
I'm
saddle.
not going to put armour on the dog, am I? And that's a tactical harness.
Yeah, and I've got a tiny little fluffy dog. You know what I mean? I'm comfortable. Anyway, Primark. Bought a few things for me.
I will not have you saying that the dog breed is about masculinity. I just like the breed.
Okay. He's very defensive. I'm just saying.
I've always had Rottweilers. That's it.
You've always had a problem with your masculinity. So anyway.
No, I haven't.
I'll fucking glass you! Right. So, I thought I'd better go pick some things up for the girls, for my partner's children. So I go over and anyway, I find a nice, lovely little t-shirt with unicorns printed all over it. £1.80. £1.80 for a fucking t-shirt, right? Where the fuck was that made? You know what I mean? Exactly, under what conditions? It's like probably made by children, right?
For children.
For my lovely Western children to walk around in their lovely little unicorn t-shirt, like £1.80. How cheap is it made for them to be able to make a profit on importing it
I
here
saw in the
and
news,
selling
there's
it?
some prominent company, I can't remember the name, but they on their website they've got a statement saying that they can't be sure that none of their products are made by child slavery.
Why can't you?
Because they said that they use subcontractors and things.
Well, send
in
a
China
fucking
and Vietnam and all
representative
this.
out
It's
there.
bollocks in it. They just don't care.
That's just covering your own ass, isn't
Yeah,
it?
well, fancy-
Essentially.
You
Okay,
can't
mate.
tell me that Primark, who do use a lot of Bangladeshi labour, and to the point where people are stitching "help me" into
Yes,
the
I was
fucking
going to say
lining
that was Primark, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
that was.
Should we just explain to the listener? There was, if you haven't heard that story, the shop in question, Primark. Somebody found a label in an item of clothing where one of the employees in his factories had literally stitched the words "help me"
Yeah.
into a label. So
Imagine fucking seeing that. That'd freak you out.
yeah,
wouldn't it?
Well,
But I don't buy new products, so
I'll be taking them shorts back. I can tell you that much.
I buy second-hand clothing.
I don't tell you,
Charity
man.
shops.
I love charity shops. I really do. My mum, bless her, finds me awesome T-shirts in charity shops. She really does. Yeah, I haven't got a problem with that. Oh, you wash it a couple of times, it smells like you, doesn't it?
I buy books from charity shops because it's like 20p a book, and it says on the back like £8, and you're like, well,
Yeah.
I'll take the 20p, thanks.
And there are no bookshops left other than charity shops. We got
There's
Waterstones.
Waterstones.
Yeah. But yeah. So sorry, that was my. I guess the point of that was it was just I thought £1.80 for a fully printed. I mean, yeah, they're small, they're for children, but it's still £1.80 seemed insultingly cheap. Right? It was just like
Made
fuck.
for children, made by children.
Yeah, something.
You've
Something.
been big enough, you've been wearing it with them socks, wouldn't you?
Hey, that's fine.
Unicorn t-shirt.
Doesn't bother me. So yeah.
Should we move on?
I guess.
So basically, that German guy's been killing off his co-workers for the last 18 years. What's surprised is no one's noticed how much cancer and fucking comas are going on amongst the staff.
I
You
think.
think HR would notice of the sick pay?
You would, wouldn't you? I think it might be pertinent to point out that it's Saturday. We normally record on a Sunday. It's Saturday, and Ben and I may have had a few beers in the sun previous to recording, and are continuing with the beers. So if my ers are a little bit longer,
Yeah, if
it's
my
taking
speech
me.
starts to go a little bit towards the end.
It's taking me a little bit longer to find the words. I do apologise, but the
But it's
words
like-
are there.
It's like 30 fucking degrees in there.
And we're English. This
You
never
can't-
happens.
You can't not have a beer in that. You just can't. You just can't.
Yeah.
We don't get this. We'll have 2 weeks of this fucking stuff. And it's
Exactly.
like sunshine.
On that
Yeah.
note, beautiful. We're all going to look like gammons.
Can I have Foster's as well, please?
Fucking help yourself. Despite the fact that you've insulted my beautiful socks. They're
No,
lovely
I
socks.
wouldn't go that far.
Bright pink with bright yellow bananas on
Yeah,
them.
I'm
They're
impressed.
wonderful. And
Thank you.
I knew you wouldn't be.
Yeah, well, you can go back to your
That is-
girlfriend and say, yeah, I was right, you know.
I was right, Ben did hate my socks. Aren't I good? Tell me I'm good, babe.
Please back me out.
Aren't I
What was it? Happy wife.
Happy life. See?
Amazing how you've become domesticated at the start of this podcast. We started off with depressed Gaz. I'm so lonely. I'm so desperately lonely. I'm just going to get high and drunk every night to happy life, pink socks,
Yeah.
buying children clothes, going to school fates.
Yeah. Hey. Well,
It's like a complete 180.
and in the early days.
We hired you to be miserable, damn it! We needed a drug-addled lunatic and we got one, and now look at you.
I don't know which specific episode it is, but one of the very early ones, I was definitely coming down from Class A drugs that I'd taken the night before. So there's at least one episode where I've got Class A drugs in my system. Right?
We wanted that every week.
I can't afford it. My liver can't take it.
Family now, that's why.
Well, I'll fuck the family up. I'll go and live in a bush shelter.
Yes.
And I will smoke meths from a light bulb.
Fantastic.
That's the man behind
That's
it.
the man behind.
I've still got all those experiences.
Oh, you've been drinking lager from a special brew from a boot.
But then you wouldn't get all this, intellectually proficient commentary and punditry. Is that just for sport?
We didn't get that before.
Yeah. Because I was on drugs.
We don't get it now. We get the pyramids at 15,000 years old.
Owls, Ben, attack some hillbillies.
No, they didn't.
There's
It's
actual
aliens.
scientists saying that the fucking pyramids are older.
Which scientists?
Oh, you know more than them. Anyway, let's do the next news story.
To quote one of our MPs on the Brexit thing was, the country's had enough experts, Gaz.
Well,
If you're an expert, fuck off. Country's had enough of them.
I didn't say I was an expert.
I was just using that point.
I did see a clip of Danny Dyer, of all people, calling
You know
David
what?
Cameron a
That
twat.
was brilliant, wasn't
I
it?
fucking hate Danny Dyer. I hate everything he's ever been in.
Yeah.
Any acting performance he does, I can't. But he was fucking bang on with that. Where's he
Voice.
gone? He's buggered off. He's a right twat.
He's off in Nice with his trotters up.
Someone's trot us up anyway.
Big fucker.
He's been up a trotter or two. One acting performance of Danny Dyer's that I do like was his first, Human Traffic. You must have seen that film.
I have seen that, yeah. Alright, bravo.
Yeah, he's great in that because he's just playing himself, and he was genuinely pilling,
Probably, yeah.
which is really obvious when you actually watch it back. I saw an interview with him where he's like, "Well, I was young and that I didn't know how to like
Didn't want
actually
method act.
Yeah, he's like, I didn't. No, the opposite. He was like, I
Yeah,
didn't know how
yeah.
to act like I was on pills, so I fucking took pills."
Method acting.
Well, yeah.
See you later, Pete. No one gives a fuck about you. Quality film.
How
Check
would you
Human
remember your
Traffic.
lines on pills? Is it
No, pill. You're quite compass mentis, to be honest.
is it just, I've never taken them, so it's just like a pleasant
not like-
buzz of euphoria, or?
Oh man, the clues in the name, ecstasy. You genuinely love everything that's in front of you, whoever you're talking to. This music is fucking amazing. You're such a fucking awesome dude. I'm gonna hug you.
You look like a gurning idiot.
Yeah, that's the physical effects. Are yes, you won't have you might have some involuntary movement, and you cannot stop your jaw from just side to side, grinding your teeth, all that.
Should we do a show on ecstasy?
It could either be amazing or bore fest, because it completely changed your personality, and you'll sit there openly telling me how much you love me, how much Mike means to you. Honestly, but it's fucking
Not very
ace.
much.
Oh, I
I've only
that's
known
not
him since
true.
I was 8.
I know that's not true. He'd be fucked without you. Yeah, ecstasy's great. And in microdoses, though, they're starting to treat, because it's MDMA, microdoses of it, so you're not gurning like "No," and doing a rave for 12 hours. Like, I haven't slept in 36 hours. Like, do you want something to eat? Fuck no, give us a lager. But microdoses of it helping with extreme depression and PTSD, which makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
just release. Essentially, the way it works scientifically is, check me out with my science.
Mike, can you verify this, please?
Well, dopamine, the signal is basically sent away from your brain and it comes back. That's how the signal works.
Yeah.
It goes there and back. The ecstasy blocks it from coming back, if you see what I mean. So it's just a constant dopamine rut, just constantly feeling good, and nothing's going to change that until the drug wears off. The problem is, where the come down comes, is your brain is then starved of dopamine, like it's got none left. So when the drug wears off, you have the complete opposite, and that's why it's called a come down, because you just feel fucking horrific. The world is a horrible, scary place, and the only way I've found to get through come downs is to wrap yourself in your favourite duvet and essentially watch children's films.
Wow.
Just nothing with anything like evil or bad. Just you need happiness,
happy,
love, ice cream. You know, you just need nice things. But yeah, ecstasy's great in moderation, obviously, listener, because people have died from taking it, but people have also died in the bath,
Yeah.
getting in and out of it. Me, nearly. nearly lost my footing once and thought that would have ended me if I'd have gone through with the 4. Anyway.
Old man problems.
Old man problems. What's happening in the weird news?
Right, this is from The Daily Show, and it's a video clip, but the audio's great. I watched it, and I got quite caught up in it, so let's play it. Spin that shit.
The nation's media may be focused on kids in cages being ripped apart from their families at the border, but down here in Trump country, they only wanted to talk about one thing.
Space Force. We need it. Space Force.
Making space great again. About Space Force.
There was just one question. What is Space Force?
Something we've been missing for a long time.
You get to go to space.
Space Force is a little bit of everything.
It's like the cast of Modern Family.
There you go.
Well, isn't it fun to say it? Say Space Force.
Space Force. The next generation.
That's exciting, isn't it? What is it?
It is what they refer to as cloud computer.
So Space Force is iTunes. It's where all my music is.
Yes, I agree. It's iTunes.
What is Space Force?
You know, space exploration and just finding out what's out there, I guess.
But NASA does space exploration.
NASA is only going to tell us what they want us to know. Whereas I think Trump will send his own stuff and we will find out the truth.
Who would lead Space Force?
Neil Armstrong.
Okay. I mean, he's dead. We'd have to bring him back to life.
It has to have a military background.
Yeah.
It has to have a military
I think so, yeah.
But the military has advised President Trump that we don't need a Space Force.
Trump's his own man.
He knows more.
And he's going to tell us the truth about what's out there.
When you're in Trump's universe, everyone loves Space Force. Space Force! But why do we need Space Force?
Terrorists could, through the use of drones, get into space and become a very dangerous hazard to our freedom.
I'm sure that there will be war in space.
Let's not forget 9/11, okay? I think the Space Force could help prevent the next 9/11.
Which would be 9/12.
9/12, 9/13.
I think ISIS could get to space.
Space ISIS.
Space ISIS. Holy shit! Space ISIS! We do need a Space Force.
Doesn't make a lot of sense, and we'd be wasting a lot of dollars, but at the same time, it's just gonna be cool.
Let me
Well,
just
I agree with
unpack
him.
what you just said.
Right.
We need to have a Space Force. It's going to be a waste of money,
Yep.
but it's going to be cool,
Right.
so we need to have it. You stand by that statement?
Stand by that statement 100%.
Fuck yeah, Space Force.
It's just a cool name.
It's just a cool name. And that's good enough. Space Force!
Space Force, Space Force, Space Force. I'm up for it.
I'm fucking gobsmacked. I can't remember what was the one that made me laugh the most. What did he say?
Space
Shit.
ISIS.
No, before there was one towards...
The old guy with cloud computer. It's
Yeah, no, there's one before. Anyway, that's boring audio. Me trying to remember what I found funny. The whole thing was amazing. That was wonderful.
I know. I couldn't believe. I watched. I was like, oh, it's good. I haven't heard much. Because I thought to myself, I haven't heard much about this. I know about this Space Force thing, but I haven't heard anyone sort of. I haven't got into it too much. I just thought, oh, it's just Trump fucking talking shit. So I watched that video and I was like, that's fucking brilliant. That is fucking brilliant. But you know when you said that we were talking off air, we said that Trump won't pose a problem in the future, or because all of them people are going to be dead. They're either really old or really fat.
Yeah,
I just can't believe the stupidity.
unfortunately I can't. It's terrifying, isn't it?
Did you see how they perverted
terrifying.
shit though? I know
It's
something
already
interesting
about
then.
terrorism.
I know it's something interesting then. The man and the wife who was speaking, he had a T-shirt on and it said "We the People" at the top, and underneath it was the V mask with an American flag as a bandana. Now I'm pretty sure V would not be a fucking Trump fan.
Definitely not.
Well, he wouldn't be a fan of any president in power, would he?
Well, no, he
He's an
certainly wouldn't be a
anarchist,
fan of
He's
Trump.
an anarchist, yeah.
But he certainly wouldn't be a fan of Trump.
No, fucking hell, that's wonderful, man.
I saw that and I was like, that's fucking weird. I nearly shared it with you guys last night because I didn't want to sit on it for much longer.
Space Force.
Space Force.
I mean,
I want to be in Space Force. That'd be fucking sweet. I want to be Randy Kramer.
Space ISIS.
NASA only telling you what they want to know. Trump's his
That's
own man.
fucking true, though.
Trump's his own man. He'll find out what's going on up there.
Never a straight
Personally.
Yeah.
answer. Well, look.
Don't you knock NASA. They do some
Look.
good work.
We were saying it earlier, weren't we? That I will fucking knock NASA.
They do good work.
Shill.
They
do
the first
good
time
work.
they called that route.
They do good work, never a straight answer. NASA's like the boring sciencey, like, you know, let's go to space with our microscopes and like, oh, test this.
That's
and...
how that's science. That's how science
exactly.
is done.
Boring.
What do you do? Just
That's
fly up a massive warship and just fucking exterminate us a planet? Is that Space Force? Is that what you want?
Yeah.
Space science is best.
You're not listening. See, NASA. Like, yeah, we're already in space. NASA already. That man said it. NASA already explored space. Yeah, but in a boring way. Space Force isn't going to go up there and observe things and.
No, they're going to blow the shit out of everything they find.
Exactly. We'll just start. That asteroid moved. Fucking nuke it. Fuck you fuck with Space Force.
Testing nukes in space.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. Be fine.
It's the safest place to test them, mate.
Well, it is, yeah.
But then when all the aliens and other like solar systems realise that we're fucking around with nukes in space, and they decide, you know what, we need to cut this off at the fucking root. Like, we need to nip this in the bud, and they just come and destroy
Glass the planet.
Yeah, pretty much.
Turn it to glass.
I do love that expression. That's in Halo, isn't it? Glass the planet, yeah.
Make it rain.
You know you'd have to say something fucking cool for you to love a planet, wouldn't you? An entire planet. Make it rain.
Yeah. What does Vader say before he destroys Alderaan? Can't remember.
And doesn't he just sort of witness the power of this?
She takes that quite well, Princess Leia.
She doesn't really give that much of a.
I think I would have like.
Do you think she knows she's adopted?
Possibly. Well, she must do through the Force deep down. If she really meditated on it, the answers would come.
You'd think that Vader would know that she's his daughter in that respect. At that point, is that a loophole I just found?
It's definitely a plot hole, possibly, but then you could maybe argue that Yoda is possibly preventing that knowledge. Is Yoda more powerful and he's keeping...
Oh, he's sort of blocking her sort of Force user ability.
Listen, she's not actually aware of her own Force powers.
No, I suppose not. And they find all that out when you're a kid, don't they?
Yeah.
Literally, the Jedi will test you as a kid. And
Yeah.
So
the midichlorians, as it turned out in the prequels, but it was... Just you were just gifted, weren't you?
I did think of this there because there was a meme that said it was like, why didn't Obi-Wan recognise R2 in the desert in A New Hope? And I didn't bother scrolling to see the punchline because I was like, well, it's obvious because George Lucas hadn't written the fucking prequels when he wrote the fucking first ones, and him saying that he fucking already had it planned out is bollocks, because why does it make any sense then, George?
Well, as well, remember that there's probably a lot of R2 units.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're probably pretty generic.
A Renault Clio. It's like a Renault Clio.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? I've seen more than one of them. I wouldn't recognise it. R2 hasn't got a number plate.
No, exactly. If you had a Renault Clio as a teenager with no number plate, and you got rid of it, and then you saw that exact same Renault Clio, you wouldn't know. It's just a blue,
You could show me.
Just a blue fucking car.
You could show me my first car now. Now, I remember what model it was, what make it was, and what colour it was.
What was your first car?
It was a Fiat Brava. I cannot remember the reg.
That's a bit of a saloon car, isn't it?
It was bigger than what I should have had, yeah, but it was very cheap because it had been in a little bump.
We had a Bravo, which was the smaller version.
Yes,
a
little bit bigger.
That was real job.
I didn't need a car that size, but it was a nice car for way cheaper than it should have been because it had been it had some...
So it was a death trap.
It may or may not have been illegal. Anyway, my point is, you could park that car out there now, and I'd be like, oh, I used to have one of them. I wouldn't fucking know if it was the original one I had, because I don't remember the reg plate. So R2, yeah. Obi-Wan, I used to fuck around with one of them R2s.
Oh, I used to have one of them.
So one of them, he's not to know it's the same one. So I take it back, George, all is forgiven. Yeah, kind of.
Sort of, maybe with the prequels. I'll never forgive Jar Jar Binks.
Misa think you are very racist.
No, I just think he was a shit character.
You hate him because he's black.
He wanted to turn him to the dark side, didn't he? And make him a Sith.
That would have been amazing.
I could have got behind that.
Yeah, but the reaction was so bad to him, he decided to just write him out, basically.
Well,
Made him a fucking senator. Has that idiot become a senator?
And he basically gives Palpatine his powers, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
It's his fault.
Yeah.
But you see,
it's all Jar Jar's fault.
Do you know what I love though? I love that you like the prequels because you like the politics sort of side, the trade embargoes and the... Because it does make sense. It does genuinely explain how a republic becomes a fucking empire and... But people just wanted fucking laser sword fights in space, and he's like,
Yeah, because it was like the Jedi at their peak. You want to see the Jedi in action.
They did do some cool stuff, I guess.
I thought the Attack of the Clones battle at the end is pretty funky. I like
Yeah.
There's bits. I like all of episode 3.
Episode 3 is great. I like episode 3.
Only bit I don't like is the weak ass. Why? Right at the end, when he finally wakes up, he realises he's Darth Vader, and he goes, "No."
Yeah.
I thought it was because he was told that.
No, he killed.
She died?
He killed. Yeah, Palpatine tells him he's killed Padme, didn't he?
Oh, is that what it is?
And he's
Oh,
like,
okay.
I could feel her though. She was still alive, and he's like, no, you killed her.
Yeah.
And then he's like, no.
No, he's like,
So that's the last vestige of humanity gone stripped from his soul.
yeah, but
I
it
thought
should have
number
been.
2 was okay, apart from the love story.
Oh, that's so.
Yeah.
That was
Well, it's the
terrible.
performance of it. That's
Yeah.
what I mean. The performance of the no. You can still go no, but give it some guttural, like fucking.
Yeah.
You just found out you killed your wife. You're a robot man.
Yeah. More robot than man at
Should
this
be a
point.
bit more. Like, no. Bless him.
Anyway,
fucking awesome film.
enough Star Wars. We got another weird news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think I saw this article.
Look, Ben. Look in the top corner. The
Yeah.
Daily Mirror are proud to support Pride.
I don't think
So don't you be ripping my socks. I'm
I've got,
supporting
nothing
Pride.
against, I've got nothing against the LGBT community, Gaz. I just don't like your socks.
You just don't like me.
I don't like you anywhere stupid socks.
Oh, you wait. These are just one of a pack.
Oh my god.
Next week, these are the only pink pair, but they're all very bright and colourful. Because they represent how happy I am then.
Well done, you're representing your happiness onto an item of clothing that usually no one would ever see. It's only because we're all in shorts that I can see your socks. If you're at work in your jeans or your trousers or whatever, wouldn't see them.
No, unless I show them to you.
So you're hiding your
annoy you.
happiness from the world. The other.
Let's do the news. Socks.
Meet the normal tax-paying citizens with pony fetishes who show jump dressed like horses. I have seen this shit before.
Have you?
Yeah, I've seen it on
Somebody
something like
shared
Euro
this.
Trash.
Yeah.
A team of normal tax-paying citizens spend their weekends horsing around in full pony fetish wear and competing for prizes.
Oh, bad.
Donning everything from mouth gags and face masks to latex leather, fishnets, whips and chains, the ponies on the Delta Club compete in show jumping events dressed in head-to-toe horse gear. Though this group of individuals in New Orleans, Louisiana claim to be vanilla between Monday and Friday on the weekends, they love strapping on their stirrups and saddling up for 2 days of pony play. Vanilla is, if you don't know that term, that is normal sex, normal life.
Yeah.
So this is obviously the BDSM culture, and 5 days a week they're vanilla. Now he just looks weird.
There's a picture of
Chap
a man
now.
with a horse mask
It looks
Yeah.
like
in leather straps.
BoJack Horseman.
He
and
does. He looks like a
fucking
fucked up version of BoJack.
sex dungeon BoJack.
Yeah.
He's got a ginger perm as well.
He has. Them ears aren't helping him at all. The group in New Orleans, Louisiana meets twice a year to lay out their equine fantasy as they compete in several disciplines to crown the top nag. Nag is a horse, for any foreign listeners who don't know that. Slang for a horse. Navigating their way through obstacle courses, show jumping and even a pony tug of war. Some of the more mischievous mares carry their masters in a cart, physically whipping them into shape as they traverse around the course. Speaking to the Wizard of Odd TV during their first meet of the year, Joey Warhorse, Pony Win and equestrian-loving couple Rain Storm and Eve Smith outline what makes their secret subculture so enjoyable. These events are very competitive, much like how a regular horse show would be, said Joey Warhorse. We end up with crashes, records broken and plenty of slips as people attempt the jumps. The competition gets pretty crazy sometimes. It seems slightly awkward that the guy's got to follow his pony while he's jumping over stuff. So he's got to have like... there's a picture here of a guy jumping his pony over a little jump. And he's got to go up the side of the jump to hold the reins. Just let the fucking pony run, mate. You know? It's not a pony, it's a man, so you're okay.
Oh, God.
Gammon!
Oh, no.
Well, that's Joey Warhorse.
We're looking at a
Veteran
photograph.
Polista.
We're looking at a photograph for the listeners. Should we try and paint an audio picture
It's
of this guy?
a middle-aged bald man with a moustache and thick
imagine-
glasses with a pony head dress on. He's got a little ponytail on top of his head.
Imagine the most perverted, paedophilic looking weirdo you can, who you would normally find sat in, like, I don't know, sat in a dodgy looking vehicle somewhere where he shouldn't be, with the little pervert glasses. Then put a horse costume on him.
Do you know who he reminds me of?
Wow.
He was in the film 8mm.
Yes.
One of Nicolas Cage's best, in my opinion. But he looks like Machine.
Okay.
Do you remember Machine?
Yes.
The big, obviously he was quite a muscular chap, wasn't he? But when they pulled the mask off him at the end, he was just a normal bloke with a moustache, and he's like, well, what you expected, a monster?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does look like him, yeah.
He does, yeah. Good film, I must watch that again. So our outfits that we make are based off bio-horse equipment or made from horse equipment that's been rearranged to fit humans. It can get pretty costly, so people are very proud of the outfits they put together. A misbehaving mare, Pony Win, who enjoys deviating from the course, said, "When I'm in pony play, I'm pretty free and wild. I enjoy kicking the cart and giving my rider a really hard time, so they have to try and get us to obey. I'm free, I run around, I gallop, I jump, I nuzzle, and I get the head scratches." She should not be in her underwear.
I would. I'm being honest, the right amount of beers in me, I would.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Never.
No, I'm not saying that for comedy effect. I'm an equal opportunity shagger, Ben. Or I used to be before I settled down.
And became happy.
Yes. Started wearing pink socks. So.
At least they're not old man socks yet, where they're coming up to the knee. Would you prefer a longer sock now? You pull it up to the knee.
They are more comfortable in the winter though, aren't they? Don't you find?
With sandals, so your toes can breathe.
you socks and sandals stage?
I'll never wear sandals. I can tell you that.
I wear mandals in the summer if I'm abroad.
What's a mandal?
A sandal for a man. Like a
so.
sports sandal.
Oh, okay. I've worn flip-flops at the pool. Apparently they're called slides now.
Are they?
They're not called flip-flops anymore. The young people call them slides. And yes, I agree, you slide them on, but they don't make a slide noise when you walk in them. They make a flip-flop noise, which is why they're called flip-flops. Fuck you, young people. Fuck you.
The Australians call them thongs.
Okay. Do they call thongs?
I don't know, but they call flip-flops thongs.
Okay.
I remember Adam Hill, the Australian comedian, he's missing the bottom part of his one leg. He had a bit off, and he got shot.
I know him, yeah.
And he said, like, what do you really want? And he's like, I want to wear thongs again. And he had to then explain that flip-flops are... That's what he had one velcroed to his false foot.
Good lad. Well, I gave a man with a false leg a lift the other day.
I saw that. Yeah, that's very nice of you.
Yeah, but it's a bit shit that nobody else would do it, wouldn't it? A bloke, for the listener, I was emptying my van, doing my job. I'm a delivery driver, and suddenly I heard a voice say, "Are you in a good mood, mate?" I looked up, and whenever somebody talks to me when I'm unloading the van, it's only ever two things. They're either trying to sell me something because they can see I'm selling something, or they want to buy something, which always makes me laugh. Is anything going to fall off the back of that van, mate? Okay, so the customer over there, used to that building, they're going to pay actual cash money, an agreed price for this. So you want me to give it to you for cheaper and put my job in jeopardy? Where do I win? What bit is in it for me? So anyway, obviously, like, you hear somebody say, "Oh, you're in a good mood," and I was like, "Oh God, what's this?" I look up and I see a man in shorts with an obvious big false fucking leg, like all the way up to his, not the knee. It went
Was it
up.
a horse leg?
Yeah. and he's like, "Listen, mate, my fucking legs come out a bit, and it's absolutely killing me. And I have to lie down to get it back on properly." So I only lived down the road there, and he had a little boy with him. He'd been to pick him up from school. "Oh, of course, I'll give you a lift." And he gets in the car, tells me his ex-services, lost his leg in the war, and not only were people ignoring him, somebody literally told him to fuck off.
Oh.
And he saw it's different when I'm out there fighting for the country, isn't it? Like, and I was like, "Oh man, I feel like shit for this guy." Single parent as well, but anyway, I did my good deed. And if you, listener, ever see a one-legged man who needs a lift, give him one.
Yeah.
So
Or let him,
give him a lift, don't give him one.
Oh yeah. So we should clarify: do not anally rape the man. He might find it difficult to defend having a little stump for a leg.
I'm surprised you didn't let him lie down in the back of your van and pop his leg back on.
Well, and then say, "Fucking walk yourself down there, you
As
cunt."
long as mattress in the back of the van.
Ignore the murder mattress.
Ignore the blood-stained and piss-soaked mattress.
You might not want to show your son what's in the back of the van.
Just move them shackles out the way.
Oh, mind the knife.
It's your lucky day, sunshine.
To be fair, this guy's upper body, one leg or not, he would fucking destroy me in a fight. It just, yeah. He was in the army.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just shows you some people suck, don't they?
Well, it's all, as I say, it's all right supporting the troops and all that. When they
Yeah.
come home and they're injured, who supports them then? It's
Yeah.
get very little help from the government in this country. It's
Sickening.
you know, he's probably had his disability allowance cut as well.
Well,
Just
yeah.
to show their pawns, innit?
And I did see a good meme the other day that sort of along the lines of a celebrity commits suicide and everyone loses their shit.
Yeah.
But there are squaddies killing themselves. There's a statistic, I can't remember
fuck,
it, but there's a
man,
certain
yeah.
amount of them killing
it's
themselves
a lot.
every day.
That's the biggest killer in our age range is suicide.
Yeah, suicide to males.
To
the biggest
males.
killer of males. I don't know if it's
I
worldwide.
mean, what
but
kind of a society where your fit young males are killing themselves by the droves? I mean, you've got to tell you there's something wrong with society.
Well, yeah.
It's a bit of a major indicator, but everyone just goes on about it like it's just. That's just the way
Suck
it is.
it up, Mike. Suck
We're
it
in a
up.
fucking revolution.
Because suicide is a taboo subject. It's one of the few taboo subjects.
Yeah.
that are
Everybody's
still
killing
there.
your men.
Yeah, but no one speaks. I mean, there's always a sense of shame in a
If it was
family
an
if someone
African
commits
tribe
suicide.
and the males were killing themselves, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
You'd all have a sit down, wouldn't
Of
you?
course you would.
And have a
You think,
powwow.
hang on a minute, something's going on here.
Yeah. Well, obviously there is
Well, we know
something
what it is,
going
it's
on.
capitalism. But
Well, yeah. Well, I guess it is. I hate to get all, I don't know, soapboxy or old-fashioned or whatever, but my dad, on a normal job, was able to get a mortgage,
yep.
feed his family. Mum didn't have to work till I was
That's it.
older. She works now, in her 60s. A young man now.
In 40
Can't do
years,
that.
in 40 years, we've had no pay rise.
No, we haven't. No.
In 40 years, because of the price of all the goods and everything, the real wages we've had. In fact, we've had a minus 10% in this country.
Because I've always found that confusing. Because I've had pay rises.
So 40
But they're
years off,
small.
you're actually 10% worse off than your dad was 40 years ago.
Yeah, so you might have a 3% increase in
But
a good
everything-
year.
Yeah.
But when you factor in that everything's gone up and inflation goes up and the housing market to the roof,
Yeah.
In the US, it's
It's
naught.
nothing.
You've stayed the same. In this country, it's actually gone down 10%. Now the Chinese, it's gone up by 60% or something ridiculous like that.
Well, apparently, I was watching something in the night that said that China's like an economic marvel in the fact that it's gone from a third world country to the world's biggest economic power.
They went from peasant farmers to being a massive industrial nation in for the 5-year plan. It did kill a lot of his people because he.
And the atmosphere is completely fucked, environment, I should say. So
Yeah, and the people at the bottom are still
The people
dirt poor.
the very bottom are still
Ones working in
yeah.
sweatshops and
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Capitalism, it does increase the wealth of a nation, but the poverty and the extremes it increases as well.
Well, yeah, because someone's always getting richer, someone's always getting poorer.
because that's
The
the
rich are
thing.
getting richer, and we've actually got poorer.
Yeah.
Well, like you say, my little 3% pay rise that I get, or whatever, is not in line with how expensive the things I have to buy have gone up. Is it?
Yeah,
There's a
that's
word, inflation. Is that the right
Yeah,
word?
that's
Yep.
it.
Yeah, it's very similar, is it? Yes,
Yeah.
my wages have gone up, but the price of
Yeah.
a fucking loaf of bread.
So, for example,
Yeah.
my sister works for the NHS.
Okay.
They gave him 1% pay rise, didn't they? He said, "Oh, well, at least it's something." I said, "No, inflation's at least 2.5%."
Mm, so you've
that's
not
at least,
gained.
So over the past 8 years, you've had 1.5% each year loss,
Yeah.
added up over 8 years. That's like nearly 10% loss, isn't it?
Yeah, but they can't see that.
It's insanity, isn't it? And
The average man in the street can't see that.
No. Well, they can't see the strings being.
And we were talking about more like our father's generation could get a mortgage on a normal job. My dad was a truck driver, nothing exciting. Got a mortgage, fine. I was having a conversation with one of my best friends who's a teacher. He came down to visit us last weekend and he's very money obsessed. very sensible with his money and squirreled things away and bought a house, turned it round, made some money, and he's constantly trying to get me to make more money, and I'm not motivated that way like you are. And he's like, so anyway, we're talking about to get a mortgage, and my girlfriend's had a car accident a few months ago. She's going to get a payout, and Ash was saying, with the kids in the car, and she said, yeah, and he said, well, you should be putting a claim in for them, and we were both like, we don't want to put them through it. And he was like, well, let's say you get $7,000, right? Well, then you only need another 3, and you can put down a deposit on a mortgage and buy a property. I mean, how sad's that we're going to con people?
Yeah.
You know, we're both working, you know. I work fucking hard, like, but we would to get the money to get a mortgage to put down. We'll have to do a con and pretend the kids have been injured in a fucking car accident.
That's
Fuck
ridiculous.
me.
I tell you what, the capitalists, the best thing that could have happened was women's rights, because now you get someone else going to work, and instead of paying, you know, each person, you know, what they were paying, they pay them half.
Yeah.
Because there's 2 bread,
Right,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, once that
you.
ran out, credit cards invented.
That's the most evil. They will have... The next 10 years of my life...
Because they aren't paying their wages, so they've still got to buy the goods. So how are they going to do it? We'll give them credit cards.
Yeah.
They've all been steps just to pay you less money over the 40 years. That's neoliberalism.
I never thought of it that way. The reason it was so easy for me to get credit was...
But now that's run out because credit is up to the roof.
I'll never get credit
so what
again.
next? What, you know, they keep squeezing some squeezers. They can't get any more out of us.
Yeah.
You know, your kids will be going to fucking work next, you know what I mean?
Up the chimney! Get up the chimney, children!
Raise a pension age to 75.
Doesn't
Get
happen
people
anyway.
working longer.
There needs to be a big discussion about pensions in this country because there ain't enough money in that part.
Of course not.
Yeah.
I mean, we probably won't see one. I genuinely believe the reason they brought in the private pension law, we've all got to have a private pension, is because me and you and
Won't get a
our
government
generation will not get a government one. That's my firm belief. Or if we do, it'll be when we're 80.
Well, if we keep going on the way we're going, we're not, are we?
No.
We're going to take the pensions away from us.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that's why we've got to stop this fucking corporate coup d'etat of our fucking government.
Of our democracy.
Yeah.
We need a space force.
Fight the power. Space
Space force.
Space force.
Space force. I got really caught up in it. I was like, what are you doing? Yeah, man, the space force.
But the problem with this is now, anywhere Trump goes, people are like, President Trump, can you have any answers on the bombs that were dropped over here? I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about Space Force. And then all the people in the audience, Space Force, Space Force, Space. And you'll never get any political discussion done. Because all he's got to do is mention Space Force and everyone's, woo!
When he comes over
Who
here,
wants to wear orange jumpsuits in the Space Force like an X-Wing pilot? Fuck, I'm losing my mind!
I can't see that fat guy in the video.
Porkins.
He's Porkins! He's got a job! Porkins!
I think they should do a solo movie with Porkins.
Oh, yes, they should. But come on, George Lucas, supposed to be a liberal. That was pretty cruel to tell the fat actor. What's the name of my character? I guess Porkins. Porkins. I'm so funny.
Did he survive?
No, he died.
Oh man,
Bless him.
I
Can we
forgot.
all take a moment to remember Porkins? I love that everyone bowed their heads. I wish this was visual.
He was a great character. He was a fucking war hero, Gaz.
That was amazing.
He was a fucking war hero.
Oh, I'll swig a beer for Porkins. Bless him.
He was a war hero. Can we call a piss break before we get into the main?
Of course we can.
War hero. Okay, and we are back. So let us delve into the Titanic conspiracy.
Yes.
There are many Titanic conspiracies. We'll touch on them all.
Yes.
I'll give you a little bit of brief history on the ship first. The RMS Titanic, RMS is Royal Mail steamer, in case you didn't know.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
One of three sister ships of the Olympic class of liners built for the White Star Line by Harland and Wolff shipbuilders in Northern Ireland. The 3 ships, and they were Olympic, Titanic and Gigantic, which was renamed the Britannic. That sank in the First World War because we'd requisitioned it as a hospital ship, and it hit a mine off the coast of Turkey.
Oh dear. So they are sinkable. They knew they
yeah.
were sinkable.
Yeah, I think the Titanic kind of proved that.
Yeah.
You know, that's a prerequisite you want for a ship. It's not going to sink. You know what I mean?
Well, it did hit a mine. I mean,
No, but I'm just saying because the Titanic,
The unsinkable.
Yeah,
no, that's a myth. It was Shipbuilder magazine, which was a trade publication for shipbuilders,
Right.
and they called it practically unsinkable. It was never referred to as
I
unsinkable.
was going to say that's a bit of a crap marketing thing. We're going to go on a boat, it's unsinkable. I don't expect it to be fucking sinkable. That's the first
This
thing I
plane
want.
probably won't crash.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
So get this plane, it can fly. I expect it to fucking fly.
Can it land?
Yes, that's the main part that concerns me is the landing. Because most planes will crash on takeoff or landing. It's very rare they just drop out the sky.
Fuck. Yeah, I suppose, yeah. Most accidents happen when you're coming back in. Fuck. Have you ever had a hard landing?
Yeah, a really bad bounce on
I
it.
knew it was bad because the stewardesses said it was bad as well. I looked at them for confirmation, like, is that fucking normal? And she's like, that was a bad one. It felt like it was going down as you expect, and then just, I don't know, forgot about the last bit. It just went, boom, onto the tarmac, and we were all rattled out of our chairs, like, holy fuck. And I was towards the back, and apparently if you're sat towards the back, it's worse.
Yeah, I suppose exactly. It comes down first, doesn't it? Yeah.
The stewardesses said, yes, that was a bad one. Like, thank you. So yeah, sorry.
When I fly to Rome at the next week, I'm really hoping that my pilot's Bruce Dickinson.
Oh, I don't know if he's still.
I doubt he flies for Ryanair, in all fairness.
No, but he does commercial because you have to have a certain amount of hours for him to be able to fly the maiden plane.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't think he can just not fly for a few years and then like
No,
right.
he
I'm
does-
going to
he-
fly.
Well,
He does work for.
Yeah, on the off tour,
Yeah.
he does work as an airline pilot. I'm really hoping that. Hi, I'm your pilot, Bruce Dickinson. I'm like, oh!
Ben tries to rush the cabin
Yeah,
for an autograph and he's shot down by a TSA agent.
Took down by a sky marshal. But it's Bruce Dickinson. Back.
I just wanted to sign my T-shirt.
Sir, this is a chokehold. This is definitely a chokehold.
Shut up, terrorist!
But I'm not proud. Oh, all right.
I'm a gammon. You can't arrest me. I'm a gammon.
I'll be in Gavin on the way back when I'm red-faced as fuck.
We've already digressed.
I know.
Let's talk about
Right.
the Titanic.
Now, the Titanic was the largest movable object built by man at this point.
Fair play.
She was 269 metres, that is 882 feet and 9 inches long, and 28.9 metres, which is 92 feet 6 inches wide, 32 metres tall, which is 104 feet.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So,
What was its weight?
a gross registered tons, 46,328 gross registered tons. A gross registered ton is to do with storage. It's so per square yard of space inside the ship, that's your gross registered tonnage. But she displaced, which is the weight, 52,310 tons.
52,000 tons.
She was the most
Meaty.
Cold hard steel.
Unsinkable.
maybe cold steel. There's a reason. One of the reasons she may have sank may have something to do with the fact that the steel wasn't quite so cold and hard.
Are you saying it was dodgy British manufacturing that led to the sinking?
The construction actually wasn't very groundbreaking. Of all three ships, there wasn't a lot of new technology on these ships. They were just built massively to the point where Harland and Wolff, the famous shipbuilders in Northern Ireland, basically saw this coming a couple of years in advance, and these liners are going to get bigger, and redeveloped their entire docks to accommodate it for them.
I was going to try and Google it now, but there was a car made in Britain in the 70s or 80s. It was manufactured in Britain and shipped to Europe, but then when it landed on the European mainland, whichever country it was sent to, they then set about undoing and redoing all the shoddy British workmanship that had gone on.
These things weren't welded together, they were riveted together. There was millions of rivets holding this ship together. Iron rivets. But they were the most luxurious liners in the world. First swimming pool on a ship on the Titanic, gymnasium, Turkish baths. There is even a dog sitter and trainer. So you take your dog on board, someone will look after that for you for the voyage, and they'll train it for you while you're fucking enjoying yourself.
I might sound very naive now. What year? What period of time is it?
We're talking sort of, Olympic was launched in 1910, Titanic 1912, so there's a bit of a golden era really in terms of, you know, we had the Empire, Britannia ruled the waves, yes the poor were still poor, but it was a pre-World War One.
I guess these were the first of its kind, luxury.
No, there was luxury liners.
Oh, was there?
Yeah, the White Star Line was one of several companies, Cunard and P&O, running these ships across the Atlantic. It was to cope with the immigrants going to America. But if you were but the thing is with White Star, the reason they were so beloved by the emigrant class was that third class. And I should point out there's first, second, and third class on these ships. Third class was as good as second class on a White Star Line. Wow. So, but a third class ticket would still set you back in today's money $600.
Fair enough.
A first class ticket. For a top first class ticket in today's money, dollar wise, would anyone like to throw me an estimate?
About 30 grand.
Higher.
Higher than 30 grand.
100 grand.
Bit lower.
90.
70 to 80 grand.
Wow, so they were very, very rich people.
Oh, this was opulence in the first class. I mean, every room had a servant, plus the servant you bring in with you because you're that rich.
Just before I forget, I have to just correct you on one factoid. Is that you said they were built to deal with emigrants leaving Britain. British people. When British people go to another country, Ben, they're called expats.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
We don't emigrate or immigrate.
They were at this point. It wasn't that long after the potato famine in Ireland, so a lot of Irish people were like, let's get the fuck out of here.
Potato. Yes.
Which the British government caused.
Yeah. It also had
deliberately.
The one bit on it that
I don't know that story, but maybe we'll have to do that as an episode.
Yeah, maybe.
The one thing these ships did have that was modern was electricity and wireless system, wireless Marconi systems, radio. Effectively, they called them wireless systems, and they had watertight doors which would seal the ship into compartments, which would slam down electronic. You could press it from a button on the bridge, and these doors would slam into place.
Awesome. But what's that in case of taking on water?
Yeah, in case taking on water, you can seal off part of the ship, keep it buoyant.
Awesome.
So, the fateful night itself. Titanic set sail on the 12th of April 1912 under the command of Captain Edward Smith, who also previously had captained the sister ship Olympic, which we should get to.
Yeah.
In my research today, this captain didn't have an accident-free record, did he?
He was not the most accident-free captain. He'd had accidents before he was head of the Olympic and these ships this size. He was not an accident-free captain, but he was very experienced nonetheless.
Right, okay.
So I think he was maybe there wasn't a better captain. On the Olympic there was another captain, the marvellously named Captain Haddock.
Fuck!
Genuinely.
Yeah. Isn't that from
Tintin?
Tintin, yes! Yeah.
And this guy was, but for some reason he wasn't given command of the Titanic. And maybe it was they wanted to maybe repatriate Smith's reputation a little bit.
Well, maybe they needed somebody who was in on the
give him the fucking unsinkable ship. And also, the accident the Olympic had, which we'll get to, it wasn't necessarily his fault, even though it was made out to be his fault. So maybe there was that kind of, we've still got faith in you, we know it wasn't your fault kind of thing. But so, 11:40 p.m. on the 14th of April, lookout Frederick Fleet spots an iceberg. Now, there's no binoculars, remember? They couldn't find the binoculars.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Hang on, they've got electronic sealing hatches, but not fucking glass that makes far away things seem closer.
I'll be honest, guys.
Backwards.
Even today, the Royal Navy does not issue its lookouts to binoculars. They see something and then they look through the binoculars. They rely on the Mark I human eyeball, as it's referred to. I love that expression.
Is there some sense behind that then?
Yeah, it's like if you see something with your eyes, you go, all right, what's that? I'll take a closer look. I'll investigate.
I suppose if you're constantly looking through the binoculars, you might miss something.
That your vision is very limited through binoculars.
Okay, that makes
sense. So you've got a wider sense of vision with your own eyes.
Okay, yeah.
But to have no binoculars.
Yeah.
No, they couldn't find them. That's the thing. Remember that the ship
was unsinkable. We don't need them.
Well, it wasn't just that. It was like there was such a hullabaloo.
Hey, that's a good word.
And like, it's the maiden voyage. All this stuff's been loaded on. Where the fuck are the binoculars? Fuck it, we'll find him as the voyage goes on.
Well, I don't know. I think it'd be
But
something
then-
I'd want.
Well,
Wouldn't
then-
you?
Yeah.
But we're British, Mike, and we'll muddle through. And this is the golden age of muddling through, remember?
Muddling through foreign countries and killing everyone.
That's the one. So at 11:40, they spotted the iceberg. They tried to turn, but only succeeded in grazing the iceberg. I'll point out this is the official story. 2 hours and 40 minutes later, the Titanic slips below the waves. It did not take a lot of time for this big ship to go down.
Are
But
you
it's-
saying that it took less time to sink than the actual fucking movie, The Titanic?
Yes. Yes, it did.
I mean, it literally did, didn't it? That movie's 3 hours long. How
Yeah.
long did it take to sink?
2 hours and 40 minutes.
Oh,
To be
James.
fair though, that is the best bit of the film when it starts sinking.
Yeah, that is that's why A Night to Remember is such a good film, because it doesn't have a love story. It's just the voyage, and then the ship starts to sink, and that's where the main plot of the film revolves around the ship sinking and what everyone's doing.
How old's that one?
It's in the 50s.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's black and white, but it is actually a decent film for the time. It's better. I prefer it to the fucking Leo one and Leo and Kate Winslet one.
Yeah.
And it's got Kenneth Moore in it, who's like the very stereotypical British English officer. He plays Lighton, the second officer, and he's very sort of stiff upper lip, and it's a product of its times, I suppose.
This bloody ship can't sink.
Well, that was J. Bruce Ismay, who was the owner of the Lion and saved his own skin by getting on a lifeboat. Yeah.
Women and children, after me.
Well, he was.
He's got money, and he
He
gives
was
someone money.
slapping peasants with his gloves. Get
Well,
out!
actually,
Off
the I know this is going to infuriate you, Mike, but the survival rate for third class was incredibly low. They kept them down there
Yeah,
until the end, and then
that's it.
Is that a bit true from the movie?
yeah, that is a little bit true. Yeah, that the third class had a higher rate of
Shit.
death
Yeah.
than the second and first class. More people from the first class cabins were saved than third class
Of course they
steerage. There was 2,224 passengers and crew on board. More than 1,500 were killed. 710 had managed to survive in the lifeboats. But was it the Titanic that sank?
Aha!
That's the conspiracy.
Yes.
One of. It's probably the major one, isn't
The
it? I would
major
say?
one. Now, Robin Gardner, who spent a lot of time on this and made his research for this, he wrote a book called Titanic, the Ship That Never Sank.
Right.
He concludes that it was in fact the Titanic's sister ship, RMS Olympic, disguised as Titanic as an insurance scam, which is the most common type of maritime scam, apparently. Insurance. You say the ship sank and it hasn't.
Ships
There you
are a fucking expensive commodity,
Well, yeah.
and I imagine the...
These things
payout-
cost in today's money about 700 million each.
Whoa! Hello! Holy
so imagine,
shit!
So imagine how much that was to someone. I should point out that J.P. Morgan owned the White Star Line as
Why do I
part
know
of
that
the
name?
International Mercantile Marine Group.
And he
Why
was
do I
meant to
know-
be on there, wasn't
He
he?
was.
Why do I know JP Morgan?
Because he's still got a bank named after him.
Okay.
He was a massive American financier, billionaire, all-round capitalist bastard.
Oh, I'm thinking of John Player Specials, the cigarettes.
He's probably a cunt too.
He's also a capitalist cunt.
Oh dear.
As I've said, smoking is tobacco.
It probably is owned
I
by
think it is, yeah.
JPS, it fucking is.
But it's the cheapest.
Exactly, that's why I buy it, Mike. We're all on a budget.
Are we all on gold leaf?
Yeah, gold leaf, the fucking cheapest.
Although if I've got money, I'll go for Virginia. I'll go for Golden Virginia, which
I've-
is probably JPS as well, in all fairness.
I've got so used to this now that I don't see it as a lower class of tobacco.
No, neither do
anymore.
I. It's standard tobacco now.
This is my tobacco. It has been since they brought in the 30 grams, basically.
I hate this 30 gram
We're
rule.
paying that cunt to give us cancer.
Well,
I
see
know.
what it is. Yeah.
But Mike, you're like this though, but that's how shit modern society is. We
Yeah.
all need something, and the one thing that we all lean on is something that we know is killing us at a cellular
Well, if
level.
weed was legal, I'd smoke pure weed.
Well, me too.
Every day, to be fair. But
You
I
do
wouldn't-
anyway.
I wouldn't bother with tobacco.
I'll tell you what makes you feel like a piece of shit is it's generally happened this morning. It's not the only time it's happened, but it's so beautiful. And Mrs. has a swing set in the garden, big, nice thing that you'd see in a park. Like, it's really cool. And I'm pushing the littlest one. She's just turned 5 on it, and I'm smoking. as I'm pushing her in this big thing, you know.
That's parenting, Gaz.
Yeah, trying to, you know,
smoking a fag. Mind you, when we were kids, I mean, people smoking around the birthday cake because you're fucking going to blow it.
But the thing is, I'm sort of doing the whole, you know, trying to blow it away and keep it, you know. And she says to me as she's swinging, she's like, smoking is so bad. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And then when a 5-year-old says to you, will you stop? I was just like, yeah, she's 5 and she knows, she's been taught and educated smoking's a piece of shit for you. And then a 5-year-old asks you, and I'm just like, I had to say, I felt so pathetic saying it's really hard to stop. And one day, would you like me to? Yes. I'm like, okay.
Now, what you can do is hang on to that mentally, and when you catch her at 12 or 13 with a fag, you remember when you were 5 and I was pushing on the swing and you told me I should stop smoking because it was really bad for you?
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, but it's really hard to give up. And you sort of said, well, but you should give up. You're going to hold on to that, Gaz.
Hopefully.
You're going to use that against you in the future.
But the thing is, so from a 5-year-old's logic, smoking's stupid and you shouldn't be doing it. But from my 35-year-old logic, it's like, I fucking work my ass off for no reason. I'm a fucking, what did that meme say? I'm a slave on a Masonic tax farm.
I've seen that one.
I love that. That's fantastic. I hadn't seen that.
So, you know, I need a fucking cigarette, you know, cunt.
Don't ask me that if I haven't had one.
Yeah. If I've got one in my hand while you're asking me to stop, fine. If I haven't had one for an hour, 10 minutes. If I haven't had one for 10 minutes, bless him. So anyway, John Player and JP Morgan.
Yes, JP Morgan. So, the Olympic launched in 1910, the October of that year. Now, on the 20th of September 1911, the Olympic was involved in a collision with a British Royal Navy warship, HMS Hawke, in the Brambles Channel of Southampton waters. Okay. The two ships passed so close, Olympic drew the Hawke into her starboard side, causing extensive damage to both above and below the waterline.
Wow.
The Hawke was fitted with a reinforced ram. How fucking cool is that? To below the waterline to maximise damage to enemy ships. So they were still thinking at this point, we're going to fit a big fucking ram under the waterline. If we get too close to something, I know we've got these like fucking 16-inch guns on our fucking... We're going to ram the shit out of that bastard.
Wow.
And we were probably gearing up for a war with Germany as well, so it's like, we're going to ram Jerry.
But it all went wrong, and they hit a cruise liner.
Yeah. The Admiralty, which is the guys who look after the Royal Navy, had their own inquiry into this, and surprisingly put the blame squarely at the Olympic. Because they're not going to admit, in an age where Britannia roars the waves, that one of their captains fucked up and rammed a clock passenger liner.
Greatest navy on earth. We don't fuck up like that.
We had the famous 2-to-1 formula.
What's that?
Twice the number of ships as the largest power.
That's going to help, isn't it?
Twice the number of ships as the largest power. So what does that mean? Hang on.
So Germany have 80 battleships.
Oh,
we'll have 160.
Right. Oh, okay. I'm with you. I follow. Yes.
So, and the Grand Fleet was always based up north, and it was called the Grand Fleet as well, which is it's a fucking wonderful age, really.
It's quite impressive considering we're
very pomp and circumstance and everything.
We're a pissant little island hanging off the arse of Europe, and to have
conquered the world.
Yeah,
pretty impressive.
And at this point, the empire was at its peak.
Isn't it the biggest empire the world's ever seen?
Yeah, a third of the planet.
Although you'd argue now the Americans.
Well,
they got 1,000 bases abroad, mate.
Well, this is a thing that sorry, slight tangent. We'll try and keep it quick. Is that America is an empire, but they don't talk about it as an empire. They don't admit it's an empire. They're not open about it. And the average American citizen has got no fucking concept of the fact that they're colonising the world.
No.
And remember that from 1945 onwards, the Americans did a lot to destabilise the British Empire and the French Empire and the Dutch Empire they had left. They even put a vote to end colonialism to the UN.
Wow.
It was they spent a lot of time undermining the British Empire in terms of even supplying forces that we were fighting in guerrilla wars. But then they got to do it. But they wanted that. They've come out from isolationism.
But we've got a
global power now. We've got a nuke. We've got nukes.
We've got a special relationship, Ben.
It's a very one-sided special relationship.
No, they love me. America loves me.
We're their puppet vassal state.
The 51st state.
We are America's
I love that movie, actually.
We're America's cock pump. They literally use us to make their dick feel hard and good. Now
And
fuck off.
and
And then
about
chuck us in the bag.
90% of the world.
Yeah.
It must own a lot. I mean, there's only, China, Russia,
I've got the rest.
Iran that aren't under the yoke of the Yankee imperial rule.
All in pursuit of the Yankee dollar.
The petrodollar.
Well, my dad just come back from Mexico, and he took pesos with him. He said, complete waste of time. I've just taken dollars.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He said they all traded in dollars.
That's not their official.
They'd snatched. It's not their official currency, but they'd snatched
Was
hand
he
off
doing
the
buying fucking...
He was buying cocaine.
Hey, I want to meet your dad. I want to get high with your dad. That'll get me back on the drugs.
Is your dad harvesting organs in Mexico?
I can neither confirm nor deny what my dad was up to. He went out there for a friend's wedding, so yeah. But who knows what he got up to? He went to an Aztec temple. Maybe he made some dark pacts. Maybe he met some...
I'm sure he made a pact in a brothel somewhere.
maybe, maybe he made some pact with some narcos. Who knows?
Come back with a lot of ice boxes, did he?
Yeah. Well, let me look in the freezer.
It's just full of kidneys. Human kidneys.
Yeah. Well, everybody's got that appointment, the NHS, the hospital. Anyway, on with the ship.
On with the ship.
Now, Gardner's theory states the Olympic was left with a badly damaged keel. And the keel is the bit at the bottom of the ship that you lay down first. It's the backbone of the ship.
Right.
So if that's damaged, it's game over for the ship, effectively. It's a costly repair. You've got to literally strip that fucking ship down, do the keel, rebuild it again.
Fuck. It's a bit like when, I know from experience, you can have an accident in your car, and your car looks fine from the outside, but then they test it and they say the chassis is bent, it's a write-off.
Exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Exactly the same thing. Yeah.
And you're like, what? It looks fine. Like, no, it's not roadworthy. It's fucked. It's not. It's lost its structural integrity because it's twisted. So
fucking cut and shut.
Well, back to my first car, as we mentioned earlier, allegedly. So yeah, that would be a major. Yeah. So imagine that. Like
you spent $700 million worth of today's money. I think it's about 1 3/4 million worth back then, which was an insane amount of money. I mean, you could fucking live 10 lifetimes on that amount of money back then.
To take. So
to
think
get hit
about
like
that practically. Let's try and go through your mind. Start with the deck. You got to strip everything off the deck.
Yeah, you got
then
to
go through cabin by cabin and strip everything.
All the
Take
way
it away, the structure, the interior walls, the bits, right back down to that first bit you started with. No one's got the money, the time, the...
Yeah, it's well, because the Admiralty said, well, no, it wasn't us that was at fault, it was you. Lloyd's of London, the famous maritime insurers, refused to pay out.
Right.
Same as if you have an accident in your car and it's your fault. Yeah, sorry.
Mr. J.P. Morgan
Deal with
like
it.
that.
No, he did not. So it left them with a damaged and weakened vessel.
700 million in the hole, basically.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So, the theory goes that the Olympic was patched up, hastily modified, because there were slight differences between the Olympic and the Titanic. The promenade deck on the Titanic was enclosed at the back. There were different numbers of portholes as well.
Isn't there eyewitness accounts of the ship looking more like the Olympic?
There is a good eyewitness account I'll give you. I'll get to that in a second. So the idea is, we fucking modify the ship, put the say it's the Titanic.
The name wasn't prominent anywhere, was it?
It was on the hull. It was painted. It was
no, it wasn't painted on the hull. I heard it was just on the lifeboats and the bell.
Well, the thing is, the only things the ships had that bore their names are easily removed: lifeboats, the bell, the compass, and the nameplates.
That's it.
Everything else was White Star standard issue. I mean, and to be fair, the fucking money that they was spent to fill these ships with stuff. I mean, like, the cutlery's got the White Star logo on, the napkins have got the... Everything's got the logo. It must have cost a fortune. They want to build the thing.
Yeah, but when people are paying 80 grand a
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I knew this ship's going to last you 20 years at least.
And how long's the journey?
Oh, you're looking 4 or 5 days.
To get to America, yeah. So, that's like staying in it's essentially a 5-star hotel that floats.
Exactly, yeah.
Hence the servants and every, this is 5-star fucking...
It's luxury, it's opulence, it's complete opulence. Have you ever seen the photos? I mean, I looked at the interior of the ship. the Grand Staircase was modelled on the Ritz Hotel in London.
Oh wow.
You know, it was like it come down, it swept around, it came down. You know, it was the height of Edwardian luxury. It really was, and wooden flooring, wooden panelling. You know,
Beautiful.
no expense spared. To quote another famous capitalist, what's his name from Jurassic Park? Richard Attenborough's character. No expense spared.
And then to imagine that you've got to strip all that down.
Yeah.
To, like you said, that first strip that you're going to start with at the very bottom and rebuild it up. Oh my God. It's making me feel anxious thinking about it. If I was a worker or a manager, I'd go, oh God, what a nightmare. You don't deal with that.
Yeah.
Burn the fucking thing.
It's worth $700 million, you can't burn it.
Well, but what could you do, man?
Well, what you do is you have a plan to have several ships waiting, and for the crew, when you get to a certain point in the Atlantic, to open the sea cocks and slowly flood the ship.
And sink it in dock, like?
No, you sink it out at the sea, and you've got some ships waiting. You don't want anyone to die.
Right.
You just,
bad
because
publicity.
White Star have got a very good safety record up to this point.
Right.
The lack
That's
of
the thing.
lifeboats wouldn't be a problem because remember the ships had got so big that the lifeboat laws hadn't caught up. So all of a sudden you're going from transporting 700 people across the Atlantic to transporting nearly 3,000, but the law says you've only got to have lifeboats for 700 or 1,500.
So
So it's
to break that down then, that you as the shipbuilder are a cunt.
yeah, because you're going.
Even if you knew it, if you weren't obviously not planning on it sinking, but you're playing with the rule. It's gamesmanship, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, the law says you only have to have 700 lifeboats, so that's all. we'll put
they
on.
had like literally 20 lifeboats. There's enough room for 700 people.
Right, but you
Or 15. I think they had enough room for half the people
Right.
until like.
So we've got enough lifeboats for 700 people, but we're putting 3,000 on board. But the law states, yeah, fuck you, law. It's gamesmanship, isn't it? But you're fucking playing games with people's fucking lives,
Well,
man.
There
we
was-
touched upon the test. The safety test.
I'll get to that.
Okay.
Well, the seaworthy trials.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get to that.
Okay.
But the idea is, remember, they've got watertight doors. They can seal off parts of the ship. You may only have enough lifeboats for half the people, but hey, another ship rocks up.
Well,
You can do a ferry system, can't you?
Right.
Okay. This thing shouldn't go down in 2 hours and 40 minutes.
But you'd still like to think, wouldn't you? Just in case, let's
Yeah.
make sure. Worst comes to worst, there's enough lifeboats for everyone on board to get off safely.
Yeah. You'd think that, wouldn't you?
You'd like to.
Basically, the law hadn't caught up with technology.
Well, it happens now.
Of course it does.
Yeah. Well, it's happening with the internet, with all sorts.
AI.
Shut up.
And
Let's not talk about AI.
even in the fucking command and kill.
I need to close your boots on your motorcycle. You can have my socks, Mr. Tin.
There's no way on his wearing socks.
I will move on to the next person.
Just look at your socks scan and go, inappropriate.
And just snap his neck. Put him out of his misery.
I'm happy!
Nobody in those socks can be happy.
Mark, that's like a Jamaican tale.
Come with me if you want to live.
Have you not seen the Jamaican remake?
Just pass me by.
They all just have a joint and chill out at the end.
Yeah, there's no. He sits down with the T1000, they have a bong, and they decide that, hey, let's live and let live.
That's it, listen to some reggae. See,
No
reggae
reggae.
saves the world.
No, it doesn't.
It's the music of peace, man.
It's the same fucking music piece they were doing fucking 40 years ago, though.
The same riff.
It all sounds the fucking same. Anyway.
Do you think somewhere there's a podcast being recorded in Jamaica? 3 Jamaican guys, one of them's called Benjamin, and he's like, yeah man, this week in the heavy metal box.
I hope so.
It all sound the same, man. They play it again. Dum, 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 dum,
I hope so. I really do.
Certainly in some dimension that is happening.
Yeah, that's the shred of comfort.
The Jamaican man.
There's a Jamaican me sat there going, oh, fucking hate Mel, it all sounds the same.
What is in the metal box,
Benjamin? Well, another dimension. It is happening.
God bless.
God bless the multiverse.
Yeah.
I love the multiverse.
So do I. It's a shred of comfort in otherwise bleak existence.
It kind of is.
Somewhere out there's another me. But we did go back to our multiverse episode, dear listener.
And
one of
our
first.
Mandela Effect episode,
Yeah.
which touches on it as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm jealous of all the other me's out there doing infinitely better than me, but hey. Yeah.
But other times you realise you're a spineless mollusk slopping around somewhere.
Pizza for legs.
Eating your own shit.
Hey, that's this universe.
You doing that?
I've been hungry before, but I'm very hungry. Back to the ship.
Back to the ship. So the Olympic was damaged beyond economic repair, which is, I love that phrase. It's a very capitalist phrase.
It's not economically viable.
Yeah. So you sink it, disguised as a Titanic,
Right.
means you can collect the insurance money on a new ship rather than the damaged one.
Right.
So you're gonna, in fact, you'll probably get more for the new ship than you would for the damaged one.
Would you?
Yeah.
So the original Titanic didn't sink,
Became the
but they
Olympic.
called it the Olympics. So what happened to that? Does that
the
still
Olympics
exist?
sailed around until 1935.
Did they break it down,
They
or is it-
scrapped it and decommissioned it, and I'll get to that at the end because there's an
Okay.
interesting little tidbit I found.
Oh,
Excellent.
journalism.
Yeah. See,
All right, you can wear your badge this week, Mr.
I did
Broadcast,
proper research today.
broadcast journalist. So what? Hang on.
Well, Friday, Thursday and Friday. Went in a bit of a rabbit hole again.
When I read articles and watch YouTube videos, you laugh in my face and tell me that it's not research. Why is yours qualified as research?
I was reading from a book.
Oh, all right, fair enough. Oh, yeah, you got me. A book.
Like a proper book with evidence in it, not like anecdotal evidence, like some bloke I met down the pub
Nah.
told me that reptilians are about.
Again, I've mentioned memes a lot today, but I did like the one, I think I sent it to you. It's a picture of a woman in a field looking extremely happy, and it says, Snopes said it wasn't true. My research is complete. that's research in this day and age, isn't it?
Yes,
One Google search. It says it's not true. So, anyway.
Yeah. Can we call a quick piss break?
Yes, I concur.
Yes.
I'm full of piss.
And vinegar. And we're back after a lengthy discussion off air about the early years of the Premiership.
1990s Premier League football.
Let's get back to it. So, Titanic, its sea trials, which should have been at least a couple of days, lasted half a day on Belfast Lough, which is a sort of inland sea, if you will. It's always calm on there, and it lasted half a day, and they didn't go above half speed. Now, whether that's the trade board thought, well, it handles, it's the same ship as the Olympic, it'll be fine, or whether it was the Olympic, and they had been told when the Olympic was patched up that you shouldn't really go above half speed with that hull.
There you go.
It's a bit fucking weak.
And they
The
did a
fact
test
that
at half speed.
and an inland sea that doesn't get rough.
Because let's say you're on my brother, for example, works at the Jaguar plant just outside Telford. You wouldn't build two identical Land Rovers, test drive one, and say, well, this one works well, so that one over there is probably going to work exactly the same, isn't it? Well, no, you test fucking both. You test every fucking product before you...
Yeah.
Fishy.
See, the Olympic sea trials lasted 2 days unless you took it out into the Atlantic, powered up to full speed. Titanic, no. Now, Gardner claims the Titanic didn't strike an iceberg. He claims it was probably either a pre-arranged rescue ship that they accidentally collided with, or a ship that wasn't supposed to be there, possibly some kind of illegal whaling ship.
Right.
That was conducting operations when it shouldn't have been, and hit
people
that.
see an iceberg?
Well, no. I mean, remember, it's 11:40 at night. There's not going to be many people strolling the promenade deck at that time of night, especially as it was fucking cold. And that's one thing I didn't look at. I don't know if any of you got the temperature of the water.
I didn't.
It would have been below many
freezing.
degrees below zero. That water.
People
So,
didn't last long in that water, did they?
it
I've
was
seen the film.
very-
I saw what happened to Jack. There was room on the piece of wood
On the door.
for Jack, Rose, you fucking bitch. You killed Jack. There
Well,
was room for two. It's a fucking massive piece of wood.
But after being in that water, he wouldn't have lasted long anyway. He got hypothermia and died.
Well, she was alright, wasn't she?
She was, just about. That's one thing that film did portray really well, was the aftermath of it once the ship had gone down and there was just all those life-jacketed bodies floating about, and you're like, oh fuck yeah. Because everyone's just thinking, oh, they've all gone, they have enough life jackets on board for everybody. Not enough lifeboats, we had a life jacket. So they'd all just be bobbing around, slowly dying, and then the guy's going on a lifeboat, isn't he? He's managed to sort of shift. Remember, a lot of the boats left half full because people didn't think it was a fucking emergency. They thought it was a drill.
Yeah. Do we know? I should have probably researched this before we started recording, but the way it's depicted in the movie of snapping in half,
that's
one
accurate,
end being flung up on its end. That's an accurate depiction of.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck, that's
terrifying.
terrifying.
For many years, they thought it had gone down in one piece, but there were a lot of eyewitness accounts that said no. It went up in the air almost vertically, and then the back end slammed back down.
Fuck.
Now that's still like, so it's 50,000 tons. So you 25,000 tons banging back down onto the water with the propellers as well.
Yeah.
Fortunately, they've been stopped. Otherwise,
that could have been a bloodbath.
Well, that actually happened with their sister ship, the Gigantic. She hit a mine. And the captain decided, because they weren't that far from land, he was going to try and beach it.
Yeah.
Didn't work that way.
Literally
just ram it into the fucking land. Yeah.
Get up onto the beach and
as close to land as he could.
Wow.
And so the water would be shallower.
Yeah.
They didn't have because it was in the Dardanelles and the water was warmer, obviously. But because the propellers were banging away and that ship was going down as it was going forwards, some of the lifeboats got sucked into the propellers.
Fuck. Because that's one of the things when I think about it that terrifies me. Say getting off the ship, you're off the ship, but then currents and things, the pull of it. Imagine you're swimming away, the ship's going down, and then currents start pulling you towards, and you're taken down with it. Well, I hate the ocean.
Another tragedy of that was that because they thought because every ship, every lifeboat got launched with a couple of crew on board to row it. And as well as the passengers had to help row it, but the crew, a couple of experienced seamen. So that, they know how to row, they know how to fucking navigate by the stars, keep together, sort of basic sort of sense at sea. Is they all rowed out quite far, because they thought that when the Titanic went down, there'd be a sort of a massive vortex that would suck the lifeboats down with it.
That's what I'm imagining.
As it turns out, there actually wasn't.
Okay.
It just very sort of the top end went up, it smashed back down. Then it was literally the superstructure was damaged. It literally hanging on by the keel plate.
Right.
And
so
then that
like
eventually that's the spine of the ship was holding it together. The front end of the ship's in the water, underwater. That snapped off eventually just because of the weight. And then the top half, the back end of the ship went up and down, and there was a very sort of just gradual sinking rather than a vortex. So that's your problem as well. Is all these lifeboats who've rowed all the way out, and the lights were on until a couple of minutes before it went down.
Fuck.
The guys in the fucking engine room were still fucking banging that coal in. The band was still playing.
See, I was literally just about to ask you that. Does anyone know if that's factually correct?
That is,
the band...
yeah. The band played until they virtually probably couldn't stand up on the deck anymore.
Daft bastards.
And apparently,
that's commitment, isn't it?
The last song was apparently "Nearer My God to Thee," which is a hymn.
I don't know that one.
I've heard it at a funeral, possibly.
So if it happened today, it'd probably be like, shine bright like a diamond.
Oh.
Some fucking pop
They just get the fucking DJ out. His decks are sliding down. And he's trying to fucking get the CD to keep playing.
I gotta do, push pineapple. Blah, 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 blah. Oh dear, down they go.
Oh man, well, yeah, the music would have been great. But yeah, the band did. They were brought on deck to keep people calm. And
did the captain go down with the ship?
The captain did go down with the ship, but not in the manner described as in the films.
Okay.
Where he's like, just goes and stands on the bridge aimlessly.
Apparently
he was getting people into lifeboats. He was taking responsibility.
I heard
he has been slightly slandered by
yes,
history.
because I heard today in I listened to another podcast. I can't remember the name of. Sorry, podcast. It said something that there's some conspiracy around him, isn't there? Like being prepared for this.
Yeah, allegedly, because he would have known. He'd have been in on the plot.
But he went down with it, so I got to think that maybe.
I think at that point he may have realised that help wasn't coming, Again, you know in the film, we'll reference it briefly, they were firing rockets into the air for distress.
Right.
Well, they were firing, yes, they did fire rockets in the air, but they were white.
Right.
Yeah, that means something very different to help me in maritime code. It should be red. They couldn't find the red rockets.
Oh, for fuck's
So
sake.
no rockets, no.
What does
binoculars.
white mean then, mate?
It's probably something
Everything's
like...
fine.
It's probably used for communication or something like that. I don't- Yeah,
Moving
it's
on,
fine.
everything's okay here.
Yeah.
Nothing to see.
And also another
Just a
factor...
bit of a hole.
Well, and the thing is, another factor is that they were 18 miles away from where they thought they were. So that didn't help
How
rescue
does that
ships.
happen?
Now, the Marconi wireless guys, of course, were sending out distress messages. Right? Now, there was a ship parked about 20 miles away called the Californian, which was probably the rescue ship that was left there.
Right.
Now, their chap had sent, look, we're hemmed in by ice, to which the Titanic wireless operator replied, shut up, I'm working Cape Race, which was a telegraph posting off Nova Scotia, so north end of Canada. And remember, that's how messages got across the Atlantic. They were relayed by the ships. So he's like getting all these messages from Cape Race, he's jotting it down, he's replying. And this guy's, of course, comes across and says, we're hemmed in for the night, we're not going to move. Shut the fuck up, I'm working here. I've got all this to fucking relay. Plus he's got the first class passengers coming in saying, oh, can you telegraph my great aunt Sally and tell her I'm on the Titanic? You know, that kind of shit. And which you could do, you could stroll in there and pay him and say, well, send a telegraph to my whoever and tell them that everything's going well. So he's got a busy guy.
Everything's going well.
Well, not to this point, but in normal sailing you could stroll in there.
I see.
Yeah.
I thought you just meant when it was going down.
Could we just
Everything's
pause for one
fine,
second
Sally.
then? Sorry.
Can I just say that the ice on the deck, which you alluded to, Mike, was probably fell from the rigging on the impact of whatever it hit. That's his theory. Because remember, it's very cold, a lot of ice about.
Oh, what if people reported...
People reported ice falling onto the deck, but it probably fell from the rigging. So it is worth pointing out the Titanic had rigging, as did a very basic form of rigging. So you could put a sail up
In
emergencies,
Right.
and a lot of ships still do that.
It's good forward planning, I would say.
And a theory is why it wasn't saved is that since sail began, a thing of plugging holes in the hull was to basically drop a sail down, weighted at one end, and the water rushing in would then suck that sail against the side and the gash in the hull.
That's awesome.
And create a kind of bandage, which wouldn't stop the flooding, but would certainly slow it
Give you
down
some
a lot.
time,
Give you a great deal more time.
Speaking of flooding, I got a pee.
Right, well, call a piss break.
Sorry.
And we're back.
We survived the flood.
Survived the flood.
Of piss.
So, some conspiracy theorists believe the sinking was arranged by J.P. Morgan himself. He wanted the creation of the Federal Reserve Bank, see our banking conspiracies episodes. The three wealthiest opponents to the Federal Reserve Bank, amongst others, and these are the top three, were John Jacob Astor IV, Benjamin Guggenheim, and Isidor Strauss. They were all aboard the Titanic. Morgan was due to sail on the Titanic because it's the fucking big daddy of his fucking White Star Line, which he owns. He's due to sail on it.
Voyage,
He's on holiday in France. It went Liverpool, Southampton, Cherbourg, Dublin, across the Atlantic. He was due to sail on it, cancelled it within 30 minutes before the departure. Apparently, also having some of the more expensive artwork removed from the ship.
Oh, really?
Busts and paintings and things
I didn't
like
hear
that.
about that.
Yeah, I cropped up a couple of times, so it wasn't just one article I saw.
It's a bit like I don't know if this is true, but rumour and innuendo I've heard online is that there were certain top-level US government employees who managed to contact family members and tell them not to fly on 9/11 before it happened. So similar thing. This guy knew something, did he not?
Yeah, well, if anyone was going to do that switch, it would have come from him. He owns the fucking line. He paid for those lines to be built out of his pocket to regain it back through profit. It's an investment. He's lost 700 million on the Olympic. Well, that's today's money. But $1.75 million in
but it's still the equivalent.
$10. Yeah,
It's still, the same massive amount to that
Oh,
guy, you know.
and $1.75 million back then was, you know, money. Even though it's increased in what it's 700 million now, $1.75 million back then was a lot of fucking money.
Money meant more, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It meant more. I mean, you could 700 million now. Yes, that's a lot
There's
of
a lot
money.
of people that have
but-
700 million, though, isn't there?
Yeah.
Relatively speaking.
Yeah, but not to go and spunk on 3 superliners.
Didn't we work out a few episodes ago? The elite, the 1%, is still something like 700,000 or 70
something like
million
that, yeah,
people. You know, it's a lot of people. It's small comparatively, but it's still. So
yeah.
my point is, a lot of people have 700 million.
Times 3.
Not in them days.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. So
Oh yeah, there were fewer billionaires
so
back then.
back
yeah.
then, yes, it may have been worth 700, but it was worth more because there were less multi-billionaires, millionaires,
Yeah.
Maybe less money in the.
less
Yeah.
money in the system.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, absolutely. So John Jacob Astor IV, Benjamin Guggenheim and Isidor Strauss all went down with the ship, leaving Morgan to have a free run at persuading the federal government to create a Federal Reserve Bank, which then put the money into private business rather than the country.
Now, the only rebuttal I found online to this was that how do we know what they were planning and thinking? How do we know they were planning on doing the Federal Reserve?
Well,
You know.
but Morgan was trying to get the Federal Reserve Bank pushed
Yeah,
through.
that was known. I mean, they were
Yeah.
trying it for years.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm just
He
saying.
was the loudest voice shouting for it.
Right,
And the
okay.
3 guys I mentioned previously, Astor,
loudest
Guggenheim
voices
and Strauss, were against it. And they were the 3 wealthiest, loudest voices against it.
Mm.
They're all on the Titanic. They're all now dead.
It's very handy
Now,
for you, isn't it?
maybe he wasn't planning to kill them, as they weren't planning to kill anyone. I genuinely think they weren't planning to kill anybody. It was the idea was we'll just take everybody off and we'll get the insurance money. But this was a nice fucking bonus, wasn't it, for him?
So
A nice bonus, and they're paying 80 grand a fucking ticket because they're in the fucking top penthouse accommodation.
the plan to save everyone. What was it?
Well, there was meant to be the Californian, which you mentioned earlier, was hemmed in by ice, but also about 20 miles away. Their Marconi wireless operator went to bed at midnight because the Titanic guy basically told him to fuck off.
Right.
Now, that was probably a hitch in the plan. They hit something, whether it was an iceberg, it was another ship. They were supposed to have rescue ships off there. The Californian was captained by a guy called Captain Lloyd. Previously, last year, the previous year before that, he conducted an exercise at sea where he took 3,000 people off a ship and put them on his ship. So he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
He practiced that, and he'd done it successfully. He was a competent
It's
sailor.
like them training drills every time there's a terror attack.
Yeah.
Ben,
So-
did you come up along in your research anything to do with a ship that was sent out containing nothing but jumpers?
This is the
and
Californian.
That's what was on board, yeah.
Left port with no crew, no passengers, no cargo, just 3,000 woolen sweaters, 3,000 blankets, and also I'm going to point something else out. There was a coal strike in the UK at the time,
Yes.
and it was crippling. Right? All the ships ran on coal. They actually the White Star Line cancelled several ships' voyages, transferred the passengers to the Titanic to take the coal from those ships to fuel the Titanic. So why are you sending a ship out into the middle of the Atlantic with that precious, precious coal
Yeah.
that's only got blankets and jumpers on?
Hey, there was a blanket shortage in America.
That's an odd one, isn't it?
Yes. It's not really tinfoil hat when that is factually out there, that the California was loaded with jumpers.
Yeah,
and
that's
as you
it.
say,
That is documented. Both Gardner and the guy I mentioned who was on the Unexplained podcast both cited that. It's in the document. And Gardner didn't notice that for years. He was quite annoyed with himself. He said, it was right there in front of me.
glaring like, yeah.
I just didn't notice it.
Well, you wouldn't think, but then so that's factual. It's factual that there was a coal strike, so it's
Yep.
weird for that ship to be out there carrying that. We know that.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, this is you know. Of all I like this one because of the conspiracies we've done so far. When we're like 40 odd episodes in, There's no metaphysical, multi-dimensional, paranormal.
No,
this is your bug standard.
A good old-fashioned insurance scam.
Insurance scam.
Yeah.
That ended up going horribly wrong.
Well, you look through humanity, it's all about money, isn't it?
Of course, yeah.
It's all.
I think I'm already
from the money
sold.
is.
And 700, man, your boat's worth 700 million or the equivalent of. Come on, you're not gonna write that. You're gonna be so angry and you'd be so angry at the Navy, wouldn't you? They said it's our fault. My company's fucked like shit. But I do have a nice, tasty insurance policy.
Yeah, probably for twice the amount on a new ship.
Yep.
The Titanic, which is just sat there, being built. We could do a few modifications to it. Bring the Olympic up as a Titanic. She's in dock anyway. She's being repaired. No. And the thing is, that apparently, Garner reckons he grew up in Southampton, big shipbuilding town, Navy base, as well as Belfast and Liverpool, and Howard Hughes is from Liverpool as well.
No way.
And they said that a lot of the working class population were dock workers, in one respect or another, shipbuilding or dock workers. It was common knowledge that they'd swap the ships. But everything that went on in a British shipyard at this time was under the Official Secrets Act.
Okay.
And if you weren't spouting that out, you're blacklisted. Your family's blacklisted. You're never working in the biggest industry in that town again, and neither is any of your family.
And I can imagine your options for other industry
were they're paid as well, were very limited.
I have got one rebuttal to this though.
Go on then.
Didn't they go down and find the Titanic?
Yeah.
And they read the hull number?
Yes.
And it matched the Titanic, not the Olympic.
But wouldn't the whole number have been changed? People change chassis numbers on cars in this day and age.
No, the Titanic.
They would have thought of that, wouldn't they? I'd like to, it's good, but wouldn't you think if you're doing this scam, so you're going to dress the Olympic up as the Titanic?
I don't know what a hull number is, so I don't know if you can change it.
The Titanic's hull number was 401.
Yeah.
The Olympic's hull number was 400.
Shut the front door. Fucking flight MH70.
That's 404.
Oh, error not found.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
401.
I thought we just stumbled on a mass here. Oh my god. Sorry.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome.
So the one theory as well, that it did hit the iceberg, but there'd been a coal fire raging in bunker number 10 since the ship set sail. Probably about 10 days actually before the ship set sail. Coal is actually quite combustible when stored in big quantities, but there's photos of the ship where there's a dark patch on the hull, and that is what brought back to when you said maybe the metal wasn't that strong.
Yeah.
It had been weakened by the intense heat of the coal fire. Now,
So when you say coal fire, you mean not one that you want, your coal stores are on fire.
Your coal store's on fire.
So it's a fire on board.
Yeah, there's a fire on board ship.
Your fuel tank is on fire.
The most dangerous thing to have at sea is a fire.
Right.
Ironically enough. On land, really.
Well, it's even more dangerous on sea because unless you're jumping into that ocean, which you don't want to do in the North Atlantic, you're going to burn to death. There is literally no fucking way off.
No.
But the rebuttal to that is that coal crew, the guys who were shoveling that stuff, the stokers, knew how to deal with that kind of thing. It was not a rare occurrence that a coal bunker would be on fire while the ship was at sea.
Right.
So they knew how to deal with it. But there is the possibility.
It would worry me, wouldn't it?
Worry you. They didn't tell the passengers.
Well, obviously, yeah.
But
so you're on deck. In all this opulence, having a grand old
and underneath
time,
you, but
there's a raging fire.
About 10 stories underneath you is a coal bunker on fire, possibly weakening the hull. And it wasn't great steel. It was good steel, but it wasn't amazing steel because it's 1910 when they're building this thing. It's not today's standard.
It's not composite.
No, it's. And when they're sort of knocking this in the air, it's riveted, plates, it's made out of iron bands. Them things buckle. And they'll buckle under heat. And if you've got this extreme heat burning away for the entirety of your voyage.
So you're saying
that weakened, so they had an impact.
Yeah.
And the hull would have held up to it if it hadn't been under extreme heat and extreme cold from the outside, remember?
Yeah.
Which is making it just as bad. It's weakening the steel. there's every chance they could have
But let's say even if it
survived
was
that impact.
even if it was the best steel on Earth, you still don't want to drive your boat straight into a fucking iceberg, do you?
Actually, driving it straight in probably would have fucking saved them.
It sort of was it
Because
actually like the movie? It was a side
it was trying
on.
to turn away,
Right.
but it was too big, going too fast. It scraped it, allegedly, I'm going to say allegedly, an underwater shelf of that iceberg, then ripped into the hull, caused a gash down the side of it.
Right.
Gash. And that's why the watertight doors didn't work so well.
Okay.
So you could stay afloat with 3 or 4 of them full, but 5 or 6 was pushing it.
Well, it fucking went.
Then it went down, then it went down.
Yeah.
So, but apparently, if it was the Olympic, and it did have that like, slight Lister port, which eyewitnesses said it had in harbour, when they got on it, they were like, that ship's listing a bit. That's
someone
documented.
said that they could see the sky, couldn't they?
Yeah, that's
Port
documented.
Oh, from your cabin window, like.
'Cause it's
Hang
lit
on.
upwards.
yeah. I should be able to see sky and sea.
Yeah.
shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
So it had that Lister port. That actually probably saved it a little bit from going down faster because of the buoyancy.
I'm sold on this one. I know we're not even through all the evidence yet, but this is insurance fraud, isn't it? Surely.
I've got one more bit of evidence for you, and then I've got a freaky coincidence.
Okay.
Ooh.
They're always fun.
Now, in 1935, when the Olympic was scrapped, because it was out of date, basically,
Okay.
no one wanted to go across the Atlantic in their nan's house. That's how it was decorated. It's 1935. Things moved on fashion-wise. This is decorated for
I'm
Edwardian
with
times.
you. Okay, yeah.
You either refit the entire ship, where you just go, you know what, it's had 25 years, 20 years of fucking floating about, doing its job. We'll scrap it and sell it.
It's like if we all paid for a top-end cruise liner now, the 3 of us, and we got on it at the weekend, next weekend, we get on board and it's 80s decor, but not in an ironic, like trendy way. It hasn't
Very
been
beige.
It's
updated
got-
since the 1980s.
Yeah, that's
We'd
it.
be
It's
like,
got fluorescent flamingos
I
painted on the
had
wall.
that bed. I had that wallpaper in my
I had that
bedroom.
race car bed when I was a child. I was sleeping in a race car.
Why was 80s wallpaper and duvet covers obsessed with like zigzag patterns?
I don't know, but I had
Remember?
zigzag wallpaper
It was
for
like
years.
zigzags.
Yeah.
Funky zigzags.
Oh, it was called Sonic. I had carpet called. I remember picking it out because it was called Sonic, and it had all these little. It was red. It had all these like dashes and triangles and shit on it. Yeah.
Zigzags.
Yeah,
triangles.
zigzags, triangles, all these multi.
We're edgy. It's the future.
Yeah, that was it. So you don't want to sail across the Atlantic and something looks like
Exactly.
your nan's house.
No, you don't.
You know, but so the wood panelling from the Olympic was salvaged, and it was taken and used to decorate the White Swan Hotel in Alnwick, which is a pub down south somewhere.
really?
Yeah, still there.
Oh wow.
Yes, the Olympics decor is in this pub still.
Well, at least they don't chuck it all away. That makes
No.
sense.
But when they received the panelling, had the number 401 stenciled on the back of it, as opposed to 400.
I see.
Right.
The Titanic number.
So they were switched.
Potentially, allegedly.
The divers went down and said it was 401. So there's a conflict of.
But would the well, there would be no divers down at the Titanic. There were some submersibles.
Well, yeah, whatever, yeah.
But the that's a documented thing. The panelling, the wood panelling for the Olympic has got 4.
So if we go in there now, it'll
unless
still say 400.
it should say 400 on that panelling in the pub.
Well, that's easy to fucking confirm, then, isn't it?
But the panelling in the pub says 401.
Yeah. I might have confused
So we
myself.
could go in, we could go there and see it, and it
Yeah.
would say 401.
Yeah, maybe on the back of the panelling, yeah, but it's stenciled in. The only explanation is that when they were refitting the Olympic, because it did cause a lot of damage, that collision, that they had some of the wood panelling for the
From the-
Titanic
right,
lying
okay,
out, ready
okay.
to go in, and they just went, you know what, we'll have that to do the Olympic, and you can get some more.
That could
That's the
be the
possibility.
source of the entire
Yeah.
conspiracy. However, I don't believe it. I do believe insurance fraud. I might be jumping the gun, but so that might be a good explanation. Yes, the Olympic is damaged.
They've got the part. They're
We're
virtually the
building
same
the
ship.
Titanic at the moment. The
We'll take
parts are
parts.
interchangeable. We'd have to change the number because it's never going to crash. They wouldn't be thinking like that. That
No,
could
they-
be the root of the entire
Yeah,
conspiracy.
that could be.
I don't believe that it is, though. I don't think this is a conspiracy. I'm going to be honest.
Would you like to end on an eerie coincidence?
Go for it.
In 1898, a former sea captain
I've read
called
this.
Morgan Robertson wrote a book, and it was called Futility or the wreck of the Titan. In the story, a 50,000-ton triple-screw propellered ship, which on the Titanic had 3 blades on the propellers, which was a new technology. Not when he wrote this book. This was futuristic. He's the Arthur C. Clarke of the fucking ship world.
10 years before the ship went down. I did
14
hear this
years,
one. Okay,
I'm sure if he knew a little bit about it,
he didn't know what was coming.
he could sort of extrapolate.
Anyway, it was carrying 3,000 passengers with not enough lifeboats. It hit an iceberg and sank.
Yeah. And what happened to the author, Ben?
I don't know, actually.
He was on the Titanic.
Was he?
That's what I heard today. The guy who wrote that story.
You know what? I think I did read that.
I didn't hear that, but that.
You know what? We're going to check that.
I'll do it right now.
I remember reading that, and then
what's his name?
And then Robert Morganson.
I heard
you know what? I have read that. I think.
Yeah.
Because I wrote that last bit out this afternoon because I was in a bit of a rush. I hadn't quite finished. There was more.
Just start with the
Morgan
freakiness.
Stern or
We know for certain.
Morgan Robertson.
We know for certain that the book is real.
Yeah.
So we can focus on that. That is
1898.
Yeah, it had the
So
same,
1912.
pretty much the same name, same weight, the same design.
Same amount of safety floors.
Fucking hell. And it
Oh
has the-
shit, nah. Well, hang on. Okay. Give me a sec, guys. So talk. I will just double check this one.
Well, use futility of the wreck of the Titan. Who best to Google? But yeah, Titanic. Hits an iceberg, sinks, not enough lifeboats. That I thought was. Now I'm not a believer in prophecy, in the slightest, but that's as close as it fucking gets, isn't it?
Yeah, if he was actually on the ship as well, then that.
Sorry guys. According to the almighty Wikipedia, he wasn't on the ship. He died on the afternoon of March the 24th, 1915, found in his hotel room. In Atlantic City, New Jersey. It is believed he died of an overdose of paraldehyde, which is something I've never heard of.
No.
So, but I did hear that today.
I
though.
read that, and I remember thinking at the time, now that it's like, that can't be true, so I didn't include it.
Yeah,
But I
okay.
remember reading it.
Fair enough. Good job. Hey, look, we did actual. Normally we say
we're
you're
both
the fact
broadcast journalists.
Yes. Well, normally we
all 3 of us actually. Yeah.
We usually tell the listener that they are the fact checkers, but I could reach my phone today, so we did some fact checking live on air.
Yeah.
But still,
so that's
freaky as
fuck
in a way, because it's very. I know what you were saying, Mike. Like if he knows a lot about shipping.
Yeah.
He's gonna write a book. Captain.
You're gonna write a book. He was a captain, was he?
Yeah, he was a captain.
There we go, then.
So he's got some insight, but it's still kind of. Did you say 14 years?
14 years, 1898 to 1912, 14 years, Mike?
Yeah. I mean, okay, he might know the design, but he didn't know the name of the ship, he didn't know it was going to hit an iceberg.
And he didn't know that there'd be a shortage of lifeboats.
Yeah.
And the Titanic was further north than it should have been. Further north than it should have been for that time of the year.
Do you think some people use that to maybe fuel... They're like, oh, look, JP Morgan got the idea from this book. I could see where... Sorry, that might have turned up on the audio a bit.
But the thing is, that book was about long before the Titanic conspiracy kicked in. You know, this...
Could JP Morgan have been inspired, but...
Would you have read that book? That's the thing. And then thought, But the ships were named for their grand size. Olympic, Titanic,
so there's not so many
gigantic,
words you can use,
and they did rename gigantic because they thought we best have another one like with a massive name.
Yeah,
we'll call it Britannic instead. It's
to bring it back to something I can understand, like in Transformers, in the toys, they're running out of names for big. Like you've got Titan class, is. You know, that's one of the... But like you said, they're running out of adjectives for big things. Like, well, there's only so many you can use. So Titan, Titanic, that was possibly going to come up. But I'm absolutely sold on the idea, I think. And I don't think it's tinfoil hat territory.
I think it's entirely possible. I really am. I think...
And he may have had a plan to... Look, we take it, like you said, we take it so far out. We've got the California on the way, full of fucking jumpers and blankets. I don't want anyone to die. I'm sending out a boat full of jumpers and blankets. We're going to get you off. You're all going to be safe. No one's going to die because I can't... Because what's worse for your company than losing 700 million boat is 1,500 people dying in your care,
on the
right?
boat that should be unsinkable.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so
well, it's
we'll
things
get
that
them
shows
off.
what ships you're building. They're unsafe. The Olympic's been damaged. The Titanic sunk.
We'll get them off. They'll be safe. The boat will go down. I'll claim the money. Everything's going to be fine. When he gets the wireless the next day, or however they communicated that, the ship went down. So did half the fucking
Be
people on
interesting
board.
to see if he had any shares. JP Morgan sold them a few days before or something.
No, he owned. It was White Star was part of the group. International
Would he
Mercantile,
sacrifice that?
Maritime
Would he
Mercantile.
sacrifice that for the money and the Federal Reserve? So maybe everyone else on the plan was to have the boat to rescue them with the jumpers, but the captain of the boat secretly knew that JP Morgan said, "Don't rescue them because there's those blokes on there."
Yeah, but remember that they're taking fee-paying passengers and cancelling their voyages to send that ship out to wait because there's a coal shortage. You're taking away more profit than you might be gaining. If you're taking away fee-paying passengers and cargo.
Yeah, but he wanted that Federal Reserve, maybe. I'm just
trying
to...
Maybe, yeah, alright, okay, because you might have thought in the long run the Federal Reserve's going to make me more money than the shipping line, which he eventually did sell to Cunard, the rival firm.
The one about killing the guys who want to start the Federal Reserve is tantalising.
It is very tantalising.
But I don't believe that one because I think there are easier ways to take those guys out, even in 1910. Much easier ways, rather than sacrifice your 700 million ship
but then
and
they cancel 30 minutes before.
People. Yes, that is true. I just think this is basic.
If he was on that, he would have died, more than likely.
Yeah.
Could be.
Oh no, I'd imagine like Bruce Ismay, the owner of the line. I'd imagine JP.
Could he not have had
himself onto it? But I mean, Strauss was offered a place in the lifeboat. He turned it down.
Yeah, the other guys didn't, did they?
No, Astor did, and so they all went down with the ship. Astor actually had a great tell. Him and his valet. He said, "What's happening to the officer?" And he said, "The ship's going to sink." And he says, "All right." And he went back with his valet. They got changed in their best evening wear, and he was questioning, "What are you doing?" Because he's there in top hat and tails, and he says, "We are dressing our best and prepared to go down like gentlemen."
Oh, I like it, but I just want to say before I forget. So he cancelled 30 minutes before.
Yeah, allegedly had some of the more expensive artwork removed.
We have to hold on to the possibility that he could have had very legitimate, very real reasons for cancelling 30 minutes.
He claimed illness, but was seen the next day trotting around in Cherbourg with his young wife.
Do you know what I'm saying? That we have to accept the possibility. There could have been a legitimate reason. That could be pure coincidence. He could have got to 30 minutes before time, and I really can't fucking go. This takes precedent. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Devil's advocate.
But why didn't the Californians save him then? Why did it? I'm trying to give reasons.
I don't think they expect. I think
they were 18 miles further away from. They were 20 miles further away from they should have been, and they were locked in by ice at that point.
And
they'd gone by the northern route.
And the hull could have been weakened.
I
don't think
the hull. If it was the Olympic, then the hull was definitely weakened.
Yeah.
Well, it shouldn't have been going.
It wasn't seaworthy.
No, the Titanic was doing about sort of 24 knots, and its top speed was about 22 miles an hour, which doesn't sound a lot, but in a 50,000 ton ship that's 800 feet long, nearly 900 feet long, that's a.
You're not going to stop on a dime.
Now, apparently, in between seeing that iceberg and the news getting to the bridge, the ship had covered something like 11 miles.
Fucking hell. See, so what I'm trying to say is that I don't think they expected it to go as spectacularly wrong as they did.
I think something happened that preempted the sinking where they didn't want it to happen.
I think they wanted it to go...
Iceberg, another ship, maybe.
Or maybe it was
something that wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't supposed to be there, if it was a whaling ship and they weren't supposed to be there, they could have got into serious trouble, poaching essentially at sea. Would they have just gone, yeah, I'll be alright, and just got the fuck out of there?
No, they'd have tanked it out of there.
Or did they go down first?
That's another possibility. Yeah. We won't know that as the...
No.
Well, something fishy about it.
There is, isn't there? Well, this is the thing with all conspiracies is the reason cliches become cliches is because they're true. And one of the cliches is there's no smoke without fire. You know, and like one of the very interesting things you said earlier, Ben, was that the idea that apparently amongst the dockers, this was just fucking common knowledge.
Yeah.
Oh, these dodgy bosses.
Well, that's just hearsay, isn't it?
It is hearsay.
You can't rely on that as evidence.
No, I'm not saying it's evidence, but well, like Ben said as well, they are signees of the official.
Secrets.
You're hearing
That's
this
not a
third
word.
hand.
No, they were genuinely if anything that went on in a dockyard in Britain, because we were the dominant maritime power, whether in regards to building liners or warships. Officials, and remember, a lot of these civilian dockyards were building military ships as well.
Mate, I had to sign the official Government Secrecy Act to be a cleaner in a place that made tanks in our hometown.
Fuck.
I had to sign the.
Yeah.
I saw tanks, but I didn't. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't. But yeah, the fucking clean. I cleaned the bugs, Mike. For one summer when I was at uni, I came back to Telford and I had to sign the fucking.
Yeah, but if you did know something, would you be going blabbing it about?
Oh, I still told everyone that, like, oh yeah, there's always tanks in there. I didn't have any information to share with anyone. I am now admitting on a public forum, I guess, that I broke the official
You broke the
government-
official secrets act,
Yeah,
and the
which-
men in black will be round
which
tomorrow.
I didn't.
SWAT team comes to the
Which
windows.
What was that? Blue team go?
I never worked there. What are you on about? They don't make tanks in Telford. They clean them and
They
repair
repair them, yeah.
But you know how they sold it to me? This is quite funny. How they sold it to me in the job agency. How do you feel about cleaning tanks?
I was like, fuck yeah.
I was like, yeah, okay. He was like, well, there's face and the tanks come back from Iraq. And
Oh, you're cleaning blood out of them?
That's what I was thinking. I have to clean like, oh, okay, I'm not for that. The fucking lying cunt. I didn't get anywhere near it. I was just a cleaner. I wasn't cleaning tanks. I was cleaning toilets and canteens.
Yeah,
I
but
saw tanks.
If you'd have been cleaning them tanks that have come back from wherever they've been damaged, you'd have probably been cleaning fucking blood and body
Bloody
parts
guts
out.
off the outside.
Yeah, and inside.
That's better than cleaning a fucking bug. At least
Well,
I've had a better
Find
story
some
to
stolen
tell.
Iraqi gold in
I don't think you're going to find any stolen Iraqi gold in a destroyed warrior tank. Although, I spent a lot of time at Donington when I was a reservist, and they had a warrior APC, armoured personnel carrier. They were 30 tons each. They'd supercharged the engine. They used to fucking thrash it up the road at 70 miles an hour. They got it up to 70.
I do remember
That was
seeing...
fucking, it was beautiful. You just fucking hear this roar as it flies up the bypass. Oh, there it goes.
I do remember pushing my little cleaner's cart with all my spray bottles and fucking mop heads on it between buildings and hearing a rumbling. What the fuck? I look round the corner and it's a mechanic with his head popping out. It's a very small tank comparatively, but one of the ones where the driver's head is popping out the
That can
top.
be any of them, do you know? All the drivers have that option to pop their head out.
But he's just a grease monkey mechanic riding his tank from one workshop to the next. I was like, there's a man who's got life fucking sorted.
You know,
what I
personal
mean?
tank to drive
Yeah,
around.
he's just
I love that.
he looks so happy as well. Just tested it.
And I have my tank license.
And
I
I
still
felt
fucking. I want to buy a tank.
I felt so small with my fucking cleaner's trolley.
Yeah, you've
He
got
had a gun turret.
You've got a
Oh,
cleaner's
shit.
trolley, and he's
Sorry.
got a 30-ton killing machine.
You know Carl Pilkington?
Yes.
His brother apparently got fired from the army because he took the tank and when he got fags from the shop.
Are they road legal?
Up to a certain weight, yeah. A warrior is about 30. The road can take out 30 tons. You couldn't do a Challenger 2 on the main road because they're like 60 tons. When we crossed over the road, like Salisbury Plain was our main exercise area, and we had to cross over a main road to get from one side to the other. And that strip of road was like really heavily reinforced. Although I could see Stonehenge through my gun sights. I thought, could take out all them hippies in one go.
Summer solstice.
Fascist.
It did take my
Yeah.
fucking. So, we're going to sum up or go for a piss break?
Let's pee break then.
Pee break, then sum up.
I
Okay.
could sum up with a clear pee-free mind.
So, we are back. So, let's sum up then, boys. Aaron, give me a. Who wants to jump in first?
Well, I think I've already stated my opinion on this. I had no opinion previously to doing it, and I think this is just quite obviously a bit of insurance fraud, isn't it? And there's too many glaring. Why was the biggest one? Why was the California out there carrying nothing but blankets and?
Yeah.
I mean,
And at a time when there's a coal shortage, they
Yes.
are literally scraping the fucking coal together to get the Titanic out there.
I know.
They're transferring passengers from other ships, even giving them upgrades. To try and fucking. Cause the Titanic was undersold. Wasn't going to go full. That would have been a disaster on the maiden voyage. It wasn't going to go full. So they fucking cancelled other voyages, put the passengers on, took the coal out of the ships. You got all these fucking liners sat there, and the Californians just sat there in the Atlantic waiting with 3,000 blankets and jumpers. That doesn't ring right, does it?
The Olympic hitting the naval ship. And again, to go back to that metaphor...
With its fucking ram.
Yeah, ram.
That's fucking badass. I love that. I love the fact in 1910 we were still banging fucking reinforced rams onto the front of ships. Love that.
It's, again, to go back to my car metaphor, just to make it smaller and more understandable, I guess, for me, is I've got 2 Ferrari F40s, which are worth... I only know this because I saw a post earlier on Facebook. I think 1 million. So I've got 2 of them. One of them, I have a little dink, a little fender bender, they call it in America, where you just bump somebody from behind. Low impact. Visually, it looks fine. But the man in the garage tells me the chassis bent, it's a write-off, it's not roadworthy, you can't sell this on, it's no use. I'm like, oh shit, but I've got that other F40. What if I switch the number plates, change the chassis number, then I write off the one that's already wrote off, but I claim that it was the one that was brand new, and I get a fucking huge payout and I buy myself another F40, and again I've got 2 F40s, and I've got away with it.
Yeah.
I've committed a victimless crime, apart from the insurance brokers, but they're on the,
anyway.
yeah, they're on the level with lawyers.
Satan, aren't they?
Yeah, they're on the level with lawyers and pedos anyway. Sorry.
We love you, insurance salesman who may listen.
So yes, to put it on them levels, I could see someone doing that. You then extrapolate that from a Ferrari F40 to a £700 million cruise liner, but it's the same crime, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a lot more complicated maybe because you've got to switch the plates and change this cutlery and do all that.
Hey, I'm not changing cutlery in that. It's all standard issue. It's only literally the compass, the bell, the nameplates.
Right, so you do
the
that.
whole chassis.
No,
chassis number.
Chassis number.
No, the chassis numbers.
Hull number.
Hull numbers, sorry. That goes back to the bar, the hotel was Olympic 400, Titanic 401, the wooden panelling in that bar.
Yeah, but I told the divers found 401. So they must have changed it.
Or they took parts off the Titanic.
Or that.
To repair the Olympic, and then thought, well, we're getting a delivery in. The stock's here, let's just take it.
But if you want the Olympic, you're trying to pass the Olympic off as the Titanic, Mike. Would you not change the whole numbers, change everything? Do you see what I mean?
I don't know what the whole number is, to be fair. I don't know where it is.
Me either, or how it's put on.
It's usually, I mean, it was stenciled on the propellers and stuff like that. It was literally the...
Well, you just...
So the propellers show up, and it's got 401 written on it, so you know it's for the Titanic. Or the
Olympic, and it was changed to 401.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, how much work is it, you know, to chisel off the 400 and then re-chisel 401 if you're committing £700 million worth of insurance fraud?
All done in the middle of the night with trusted employees.
Why, if you know it was going to go down, you wouldn't bother with the whole number.
But that's the thing, that they weren't planning for it to go down the way it went down, I don't think.
They were planning on everyone getting off. Now, everyone on that ship...
Yeah, but the ship's still going to go down.
Yeah, but, hang on, let me finish.
Yeah.
If the ship hadn't have gone down with 1,500 passengers, everyone had got off the ship, and it was just a nice little accident, maritime accident, because ships did have icebergs.
Shit happens.
Shit happens. My point is that if everyone had got off and no one had died, this shipwreck wouldn't be as famous.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say,
no one would have gone down there looking for it.
Why bother changing the whole chassis number if you know it's going to go down? You wouldn't do it, would you?
Well, they didn't, because the whole chassis number on the wood was 401, which is the Titanic.
Saying that people went down and dived, it said it 401, the Titanic.
Yeah, on some parts it may have done, where they repaired it.
Maybe. I don't know. That's the only...
Yeah, I'm with you. You've got to...
Yeah.
I just think... My opinion is...
You got the other evidence against the Californian, the fact that the test was only at half speed.
Yeah, and only half a day.
You know, JP Morgan...
Backing out the last minute, removing valuable busts from the...
Yeah.
Carpeting the floors as well was another thing. Actually, you mentioned that. All the floors were wood laminate. And on the Titanic, they were carpeted over a couple of days before launch, before the maiden voyage. Is that to disguise scuff marks on the floor? Because you wouldn't have them on a brand new ship, would you?
No, you wouldn't know.
A lot easier to just to lay some carpet over the top rather than to relay the entire deck.
Yeah. It's definitely something dodgy.
I think there's your bog standard insurance fraud. I think they were planning on getting everybody off board, man, woman and child.
I don't think there was a plan to kill anyone. I think
No.
the Federal Reserve thing was a nice bonus for it. But they were, and let's face it, safety records on transport is your main seller, isn't it? Especially on these liners.
Yeah.
Oh, no one's died on our ships from an accident in 20 years. Now all of a sudden 1,500 people are dead.
Yeah.
That's going to knock you in the wallet.
I think something else went wrong.
Yeah, but he sold it afterwards. I don't know if he made a profit.
I don't know when he sold it, I must admit, but it was later, a lot later than this.
Maybe he was able to absorb that hit. I mean, I'm sure he owns many companies.
Well, like I said before, White Star was part of a group. So obviously, in part of a group,
Conglomerate.
some sides make a profit, some sides make a loss.
it.
Balances it out, doesn't it? But White Star were loved amongst the emigrant class for having a better standard of travel.
Right.
Second class, third class was as good as second class. On the Cunard lines, on the P&O lines, you were in fucking steerage. You were like in the bowels of the ship. In fact, the film Titanic doesn't quite get it right. They show the bunk beds, but it wasn't that cramped, but it was certainly a bit better than that.
Yeah.
You know, it was, and second class, which is probably what we'd have been in, ish.
The equivalent.
If we had the, well,
don't
Mike,
know.
you'd have been in steerage.
I'll be in steerage.
I was gonna say, I don't know my wages. I think I might be in steerage, but why would I be going? I'd be going to America for a new life, would I?
Yeah. I'd have been in first class, being a management type.
Well, yes.
I'd have got off the boat fine.
Yes.
I'd have gone down with the ship.
You'd have been going down on Jeffrey, and you'd have been so busy sucking off management, you wouldn't have noticed the iceberg. In fact, I'm willing to bet the fucking tyre crash was you and General.
I'm willing to bet that I would have done the John Jacob Astor thing, gone and got dressed in my finest evening attire, and gone, I'm going down with this ship.
I would have probably been
with a gun, telling the kid to get them.
I was going to say, I would have probably been out there elbow smashing women and children in the face to fucking get into the lifeboat.
It was Lighton, the second officer, who said that towards the end there was a rush of cowardly individuals, I'm air quoting here.
Here I am.
Probably not British or American, more likely Italian, who tried to rush the boats. That was his exact line, he had to apologise for it.
Yeah, that's
He's called the Italians cowards as a parting shot.
I don't know how much my
But he was a genuine hero. That he got a lot of people off that boat because he was, Smith, while doing his duty, had towards the end had kind of given up the ghost and fucked off, and he was the one trying to get people on and trying to get the collapsible boats that they had into the water and lowered down with people. It was imagine the panic of the entire evening, and they're trying to keep calm. The band's playing,
horrific. Fucking Celine
and of course, J. Bruce Ismay managed to get himself off the boat. I think he killed himself about 15 years later because his reputation was just destroyed.
Oh, okay.
Because he'd survived when so many hadn't.
Survivor's guilt.
The shipwreck, the architect of the ship, the shipwright, went down with the ship. I forget his name on the top of my head, but in the film, he's seen adjusting the clock. Do you remember that scene?
Yes, I do.
Looks at his watch, and he had a more heroic death as well. He was helping to get women and children on the lifeboats. He wasn't just stood there in the bar getting drunk,
well,
adjusting the time.
Actually, that might have been my other plan. Grab a bottle of whiskey, fight my way through the women and children, and just dive into a boat.
The chef did that.
Sit in the corner and just drink my way through it.
The chef drank a bottle of brandy, jumped into the sea and survived.
Yes!
The brandy kept him warm.
Yeah.
Or certainly alluded to the fact that he certainly psychologically kept him warm. Because drinking alcohol decreases the body temperature. But it certainly... He did drink the ship's chef, drank a bottle of brandy, jumped into the sea and swam for a lifeboat and survived.
Fucking legend. Was he Dutch or something like that, or Danish?
I think he might have been actually,
Well, yeah. So what do you think?
I'm going with the. I went down a bit of a rabbit hole again. I've got to stop doing that because threads fucking rip me apart for a week.
Gives us good research and good content, mate. Don't stop.
But yeah, I'm with it. I don't think anyone was meant to die, but I do think that it was an insurance job. Yeah. I think it went wrong.
Me too.
That's what I'm going with.
What you saying, Mike?
Yeah, I'll go along with that. But my only thing is that when they went down and checked the wreck, the whole number.
Well, at one point, during my rabbit hole, I came across this video, and it was the submersible robot going down and lifting under the nameplate, and you could see the letters O and P under it, and I was like, "Fuck." And then I went and researched that a little bit further and found out that was all CGI.
Oh,
That's
wow.
fucking hell.
Fuck's sake.
You literally had me at that point. I was like, fuck me. That is like...
people are dicks, man.
But
Don't do that.
the one thing I will say is that whatever's lying at the bottom of the Atlantic claiming to be the Titanic has got a black undercoat to the paint. And it is specified the Titanic had a grey undercoat.
Could that be effects of the ocean?
I don't know. That's all I found out about that. I don't know what colour the Olympic had. All I know is that the colour of the paint is off. But that could be the effects of the ocean. Could be the fact they just didn't have enough fucking black spray paint that day.
Yeah. I think my official verdict is dodgy as fuck.
It's dodgy as fuck.
Yeah, there's something fishy going on for sure. I just think the California being out there, that's such a massive...
During the coal shortage, only with blankets and jumpers, that is a big red flag to me.
Yeah, me too. So yeah, that's... I had no opinion before we started this one, but my opinion, having heard the evidence, is I'm going insurance scam. Yeah, they didn't mean to kill anybody, they didn't want anybody to die, but they did. Yeah.
Okay, some weird news?
Let's go some weird news.
Let's
We're all in
do it.
agreement that it's a bit iffy.
Certainly it is.
So, do you want me to go for this one?
Yeah, if you could, because the microphone's in the way.
Burger King offer free Whoppers for life and £35,000 to women who get impregnated by a World Cup player.
Hang on. What?
Yeah,
That's
you read it right. You read it right.
Yeah, I read it right. Yeah. There are many things people do for free food, but sleeping with someone shouldn't have to be one of them. That was exactly what an advert posted on an official Burger King social media page suggested they do. The post by Burger King Russia, which has now been deleted, offer a reward of 3 million rubles, around 35 grand, and a lifetime supply of Whoppers to any woman who could get themselves impregnated by a World Cup player. The campaign was put up on VK, the Russian equivalent of Facebook, on Tuesday morning. It was pulled shortly after being published due to widespread backlash. However, screenshots of the offending post were quickly captured by many and are still being shared online. The original post was written in Russian, but Deadspin, whoever they are, roughly translated it. It said, Burger King, within the framework of social responsibility, has appointed a reward for girls who get pregnant from the stars of world football. Each will receive 3 million rubles and a lifelong supply of Whoppers. For these girls, it will be possible to get the best football genes, and it will lay down the success of the Russian national team on several generations ahead.
Fucking social engineering.
We believe in you! And you know what? Before I read that, I was thinking to myself, the Russians want a better football team. They're looking at selective breeding, and then I read that. I thought, oh fuck me, that's exactly what it was.
Exactly. I mean, you're, you know.
We believe in you. Forward, comrade,
hell.
worker, sex worker. Go out there and fuck Ronaldo.
Well, think about it. You're fucking Debbie Russia. You know, you're a local Russian lady.
Aganiska.
You get impregnated by, the Senegali striker.
I don't think they want black players, Gaz.
No. Okay.
The Russians are
but
quite racist.
My point was,
Allegedly.
if you follow my point through, though, I know that. And under normal circumstances,
I think they want Harry Kane or Ronaldo.
Yeah, but under normal circumstances, they wouldn't be encouraged to necessarily breed with someone of ethnicity But if that person is an incredibly good footballer, Debbie Russia gets pregnant, the babe, Mr. Footballer fucks off back wherever he's from because he's not going to hang around, is he?
Oh no.
She gives birth to the baby in Russia. Well, he's eligible to play for the Russian national team, isn't he?
Yeah.
Of course he is. So this is, you're right, it is social engineering to get in 16, 18 years' time, 20 years' time, like a half decent...
Russian Ronaldo trying about.
A half decent
Ronaldo ski.
Why are Russia crap at football?
It's just not their national sport.
But with that
I
many
don't know what the national
people,
sport is, but
with that many people to
Imagine
pick
it's ice
from,
hockey, maybe.
Probably,
they are
yeah.
big into ice hockey.
And basketball.
Basketball's very big in Russia too.
Only to beat the Americans though.
Yeah, also, so is sort of oppression and like, yeah, anyway. So yeah, but that's very irresponsible, isn't it?
I suppose when you live in a country that's frozen 11 months of the year, playing football is not a great choice, is it?
No. They're saying it's within the framework of social responsibility.
Yeah. So it is.
Fuck me.
I'm really good at driving a forklift. Do they need me to shag any Russian women?
I like the fact that I don't think they've got any shortage.
Get the next generation of fantastic forklift drivers.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just trying to spitball here. You're quite good at driving a van. Maybe they need some van driving
I
genes.
think they've got enough.
Mike's
really been a bum.
Mike's really good at being a bum. He's effectively Onslow. Right? Maybe they need someone like that.
Maybe them Russians need some performance poets. I used to do that.
And even though Mike's penis is in another dimension.
That doesn't hinder my word.
I had a theory with this, Mike. Did you put your dick in the reggae box? Because that's another portal to the dimension.
It's been sent away.
It's been sent away to another
It's
dimension.
a scientific experiment, I told you. Sent it through the...
I like the fact though that even in Russia, that sounds pejorative the way I said it, but even in Russia this was deemed as like, fucking, come on, delete that, you can't do that.
That's like Stalin era stuff, the humanity thing, the selective breeding. Let's make the next generation of footballers, not by actually training people, just by, hey, ladies, go and fuck a footballer.
Well, it's a bit SS Nazi territory, isn't it?
It is actually,
hey, go fuck one of our big blonde chosen SS soldiers
in a graveyard where the spirits of Nordic heroes are lying around, and maybe one of them will creep into your womb.
See episode 1, dear listener. Sound quality dog shit, but
technically episode 2.
After the last
the
one.
lost episode.
But a lot of good content on it still, if you can hear it. So yeah, well, this is just gross, isn't it?
It's mad. It's madness. But they haven't deleted it. I assume that if there wasn't outcry to it, there'd be a load of Russian women now trying to have sex with Cristiano Ronaldo. Oh, there probably is a lot of Russian women.
Well, let's give the Russian women a bit of credit. I don't think they're going to £35,000 and the free whopper for life. Yeah.
That's the irony of it, isn't it? They want to get the best footballers, but they'll be fed on whoppers every day.
yeah. While they're pregnant, they're just shoveling whoppers down their
neck. When they're a kid, they're growing up, free whopper every day.
They're going to give
you won't get the nutrients to be able to become a footballer.
No, they're just going to be diabetic and overweight.
Help me out, guys. I'm trying to think of a famous chubby footballer, and all that comes to mind is Razor Ruddock. But he wasn't that chubby. But chubby compared to your Ronaldos, to your six-pack Ronaldo. Chubby footballers.
Jan Molby, yeah, he was quite fat.
Is there a chubby footballer?
Not anymore. They're all athletes now, as
Back
you said.
in the day, though, they had like dad buds, didn't they?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Brian Robson had a bit of...
Not all of them, but...
Carrying a bit of weight around the middle. And a little bit, because not many because of the 10 pints a day.
And the mullets. The mullets and the
move
pints.
on?
Yeah, well, that's just gross, isn't it, that one?
Well, this was even worse.
Oh, God. People are drinking cockroach milk, and it tastes the same as stuff from cows. No, it fucking doesn't!
Cockroaches don't have teats. Or do they?
From almond to soy, hemp to hazelnut, milk isn't just about cows anymore. I actually do drink soy and almond milk nowadays.
And you've got the fucking nerve to take the piss out of my socks! You fucking vegan prick!
It is Mandels, he's drinking
fucking hell, you might as well die, you fucking goatee, fucking purple!
Are you finished?
Jesus Christ, Tarquin!
Gaz, a lot of sugar in milk. Gotta watch that.
Yeah, alright. My dad's diabetic as fuck and on dialysis. Still drinks cow milk.
Or maybe you should stop.
Probably, yes, but he stopped all the other things they told him, but he just draws the line at fucking not drinking cow milk because he's got a working penis.
That's all right.
I don't know, I think the soy milk's fucking...
Hey, I'm
Just have a little I think I can see a little bit of camel toe from here. I think the soy milk has grown you a vagina.
I can assure you that I can hammer nails.
You took the piss out of my pink socks. Are you
'Cause they're
drinking
pink
almond
socks.
milk?
No, I'm drinking soy and almond milk.
You and Gerald telling them what to do at work and then going off and having your vegan falafel and some fucking.
No, I don't actually drink
almond
coffee,
milk.
so. But no, I do for health reasons.
Okay. I support you.
But, no, don't get me wrong, right? Don't get me wrong.
It tastes like
I
ass,
really
doesn't it?
fucking miss cow
It
milk.
tastes like shit, doesn't
I
it?
really no.
I
Actually,
tried
you have
soy
the
milk.
unsweetened, do you? The unsweetened.
No, that's sweet. No, I do have unsweetened, yeah.
Oh god, it is vile. The
No, actually,
sweetened I
the
can take,
the
but-
Aldi soy unsweetened is actually quite nice. It's
I tried it once.
Not as nice as cow milk though. You
No,
know when
it's
you
not
go
as
to the
nice as-
fridge
it's
and
not
you get,
as nice
and you
as-
get the 2-pint jug.
I know,
and you
it's not as-
fucking gulp it from the bottle.
it's not as nice as cow milk, I know, but I'm making 35 and I'm making a life decision. All right.
Okay.
I made a life decision.
Soon it
I don't get me wrong. I miss cow milk to fuck. It's not through choice. It's through necessity.
I thought of an old Red Dwarf bit. We've got plenty of dog's milk. Lasts longer than any other type of milk, dog's milk. Oh yeah, why's that? No bugger will drink it.
It's the same with soy. You know, saying that, I haven't probably drank any for a while because I've just been not bothering with breakfast.
I might be-
Probably because the milk's so depressing.
I think possibly that might be the reason, Ben. But okay, someone enlighten me. Cockroach milk.
Anyway, yes, let's carry on with the article. Before you
How-
start taking a piss at me more.
How do you milk a... It's a fair's fair. I've taken my fair few digs today based on my happiness. My pink socks. How does one milk a fucking cockroach is all I'm going to say.
I don't know. We'll find out, hopefully, as the article goes on.
Where's the milk?
Well, cow's milk remains by far the biggest in the business. More than 750 million tonnes is produced and consumed every year. That doesn't seem that much.
I don't know. How heavy was
It's
the
a lot,
Titanic?
what, 50,000 tonnes?
Yeah,
But when you think of that
750
milk
million.
that's drank every day, 750 million
Yeah.
tonnes. Yeah, well. But as the global population grows and sustainability increasingly questioned, some are looking elsewhere for traditional food sources. After all, cows, all 1.5 billion of them,
Fucking hell, that's
are
how
the
many
most,
cows there
are
are.
the most damaging thing on the planet right now. More so than cars,
The
planes,
meat-
or
I'll give you a
nuclear
statistic that's going to
testing.
blow your mind.
Mhm.
Do you know what the makeup of the biosphere is on this
Okay,
Earth?
no I don't.
Scientists, Mike.
30% are humans,
Right.
67% are livestock.
Well, we're trying to work our way through that.
Everything, all the other animals that aren't livestock, 3%.
Wow.
Yeah.
So for every person there's more than one
Yeah.
livestock animal.
Mhm.
There's fucking loads of people.
2.5, well, just over 2.
Jesus Christ. 1.5 billion cows.
Yeah.
What's the population of the UK?
It's 60 million, 70 million, something like that.
Fuck me. So if we went to war with the cows, just the UK,
Because
we're outnumbered massively.
yeah. And they could probably take more than one round to bring them down.
Fuck, I reckon they'd take many rounds, wouldn't they, to take down
In
a
the
cow?
finale of Westworld, no spoilers, some robotic buffalo was sent to some soldiers and they couldn't take them down.
Yeah. I saw a big bull thing with the horns. Drove past it the other day. In a
Did you
field.
snort cocaine from its anus?
I no, because what it was doing was scratching itself against a tree, scratching its front end, and I was absolutely taken aback at the just size of this beast, and watching it really kind of mash itself into a tree, I was like, if I hit a tree with that sort of force, I'd have to lie down unconscious for a while. This buffalo's just itching itself. Well, it wasn't a buffalo. What would we have in this country? What's it called? A bull? Yeah, a bull. There you go. But yeah, I was genuinely shocked by the size and the power of this thing.
Was the tree leaning because it was scratching?
No, not far off. But back to my initial point is I hope it's in this article.
Well, it is. It's down the bottom. I'll read on.
Okay.
All the other milks require farming. Goat's milk is obvious, but other sources, such as coconuts and rice, have an effect on the environment. Producing enough is hugely expensive and takes its toll on the land required for cultivation, which is why people are milking cockroaches. They're cheap, rich in nutrition, and hardly take up any room. Some people are really drinking cockroach milk as a dairy alternative now, and that's something I will not fucking do. The milk is derived from cockroach crystals.
Here we go.
As part of the insect found in its gut.
Oh.
According to scientists, these crystals are like a complete food, rich in essential amino acids and proteins.
Important point, like a food.
Yeah, like a complete food. A researcher from the Institute for Stem Cell Biology and Regenerative. Go on, someone else.
You said it.
Did I? I got it. Regenerative.
Regenerative.
Yeah.
I can't say.
Medicine in India claims the nutritional value of the cockroach product is much higher than other milks. What's more, apparently, it tastes no different from cow's milk.
There you go. Get rid of your soya, get cockroach milk.
Yeah, I know where it's come from.
But what makes me laugh about this is we're such dicks as humans, aren't we? We are dicks. Because it's like, okay, look, we've got 1.5 billion cows, it's too many. We won't take the milk from them anymore. So instead, we're going to need 50 trillion cockroaches that we are going to breed purely to kill and fucking extract these crystals.
It takes 1,000 cockroaches to make 100 grams of milk.
That's fun. So we're going to need trillions of big... They're alive. I know we don't see them as they don't look like mammals, so we have no sympathy for them, but it's life. They're alive. We're going to breed tens of trillions of them to kill them and suck out their stomachs and pour it on our fucking cereals. Oh, it's so fucking good to be human, Ben. We're so ace. We're dicks.
Well, Gwyneth Paltrow's onto it.
Yeah, but she's onto a lot of fucking stupid shit.
Goop.
Yeah, a lifestyle website Goop already lists cockroach milk as an option. As might be expected, the process of milking cockroach is precise and laborious.
Didn't she
How
say
much
that...
does she charge? She charges insane money. She got done her website. They were selling
done
these
by
stickers.
NASA.
They said they were from NASA. These stickers and did some technology, and then NASA piped up and were like, we've never had that technology. We don't endorse that technology. That technology doesn't exist. They're fucking stickers. And they had to retract them. But her clientele is exclusively the richest of the rich, who want to get the Hollywood lifestyle. And I guarantee she's probably selling 100 grams of cockroach milk for $100,000.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
God. I mean, I'd drink it. I would try it once, because I tried soy milk once and really.
Yeah, but soy's from a plant.
And that's from a cockroach.
It's from a cockroach.
Yeah.
But if they write on the packaging, it's full of all the nutrients I need, Mike, I will read that packaging and go, oh, it's full of all the nutrients I need. And
if it has a picture of a cockroach on the front.
It's probably not going to have a picture of a cockroach on the card. It's going to be a very blank, nondescript card, let's face it.
Crawling on a shit.
Look at what all the kids are buying this year. Cockroach milk. I love the taste of this cockroach.
You do that, them adverts with the top lip covered in milk. Got milk? Got cockroach?
Oh man, maybe that ties into the whole. Maybe that ties into the whole sort of tier 1 paedophilia thing. Children drinking that. Very cock milk.
How do we get there?
Oh.
See how they make drinking cock milk?
No, think about it.
Not the milk of cocks.
Think about it. They'll call it cock milk. Right? The tier 1 elite paedophilia reptilians would love that.
Why do they call it roach milk?
Because they're going to do that, aren't they?
It sounds a lot.
They're going to do that. They're not going to do that.
Oh, are you going down the shop, young John? Do us a favour, lad.
Get some cot milk.
Guess half a gallon of cot milk while you're there.
Half a gallon? I'm telling you, it's tying into the reptilian paedophile agenda.
We need bread, we need
I'm going full Alex.
We could do with a kilogram of sugar.
I'm going
cot milk.
I'm
towed out of cot milk.
I'm going full Alex. It's all part of the reptilian paedophilic agenda. We're going to rebrand it as cot milk, get children to drink it. I'm going full Alex. And then turn the frogs gay.
I have never accepted a cup of tea at your house.
That's alright, I won't make you one, I'm going to drink it. Make your own tea in my house.
I've got wank into my own tea, have I?
Yes.
Mike's done. We've done Mike. Cock milk. Fuck me.
Where'd that go from?
The reptilian satanic elite, that's where it comes from, Mike.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, next article.
Fuck me.
What we got? This is the last one. Are we doing full Alex?
Yeah, if you want.
Oh, fantastic.
It's my favourite game show.
Oh.
Hang on, no, you've got.
Oh, man.
One more news.
Do you want me to go for this one?
Yeah.
The pain was an 11 out of 10. This one goes up to 11. Man's penis ruptured after he heard popping sound during sex. It's from the mirror.co.uk. Ross Asdorian, 32, ruptured his penis muscles and severed his urethra during the horrific incident. The author from New York shared candid details of his genital trauma on Kyle. I don't know, it's an Australian
Kyle.
breakfast radio show. Kyle and Jackie O, an Australian breakfast radio show on Friday, while promoting his new book about the experience, Broken
Banana.
That sounds like the fucking code you use to say that you're going to launch a nuclear weapon.
He's wrote a book about snapping his knob.
An entire book. Surely it was just a chapter.
Nope. We were having sex in what doctors call doggy style.
Today?
I don't know
What
the...
doctor's he going to?
I'm sure there's a Latin name for doggy style. Canis erectus.
Maybe. I came out and then went back in. And we both did that in equal but opposite force, and it caused a very audible pop.
Wow.
Russ, as doing 32, was having sex doggy style with an above
What does that
average
mean?
woman.
An above average woman. What does that mean?
When he ruptured his two penis muscles and severed his urethra. Radio host Jackie O listened as Ross described the pain in his penis as an 11 out of 10. Ross said he went into emergency mode and dialed an ambulance immediately. Would you want to finish first, or...?
No, this is making my cock hurt, I'm not going to lie. I've got a funny feeling in my tummy.
You're putting off gas off.
I understand is
You're putting gas off getting late tonight.
Why has he written a book about it, and who is going to buy that book?
Mike, someone will buy that book. Someone bought Katie Price's autobiography. All fucking three of them. Someone will buy it.
Yeah, but they're not buying someone who just snapped their cock.
I heard a story about a guy who jumped out of a window to slide down a flagpole. It's in Adam Kay's a comedian who used to be a doctor, who's written a book about his time as a doctor. And anyway, so the guy jumps to slide down the flagpole, but the flagpole is incredibly rough surface. Yeah. So he takes the skin off his hands. He also, and this is the words of the book,
Right.
he degloved his penis.
Oh my god. Oh, sweet saying, that feels terrible.
For the listener, all three of us look at each other with really weird, uncomfortable, painful
I'm just imagining
looks.
the skin of my penis being left half of a flagpole.
Degloved.
So it's taken the entire thing off
Taking
in one
the glove off the
in
hand.
one sheath. The entire sheath is hanging on that flagpole, and I'm looking up at it going, "Oh, that wasn't so bad." Oh wait, and then I look down and see the blood spreading from my crotch.
Yeah, but you wouldn't first think, I want to write a book about this.
No, it wouldn't. It would not.
I just can't believe the guy got an entire book out of it. I'm jealous. I've written so many half books.
I want to read you the next line.
Okay.
I went into emergency protocol. I got up, flipped the lights on. Oh, well, this poor woman is still there on all fours, looking confused because she didn't know what was happening. He said that when your penis breaks, the pain is so intense that you don't even scream. I think I would.
I'd scream.
I would scream like a girl.
Me too.
Like a 5-year-old girl. Like, ah! That'd be it.
Like a 5-year-old girl who just broke her cock.
Yeah.
Sorry, it doesn't make any sense.
I was talking about the volume and intensity of it. You got children, Gaz, now. You must know what a child screaming in pain sounds like.
It's usually hilarious. I've got to be honest. I was talking about this in detail with Leona earlier. What is so hilarious about a child falling over? And I've broke this down psychologically. It's not the process of them falling over. It's because the child doesn't understand that the reason they've fallen over is their own clumsiness or their own lack of understanding of physics and balance and inertia.
Yeah.
So when they fall down, they have this look on their face of incredulous, like what the world just fucked me. I was having fun, I was running around, everything was great, and then the fucking ground decided to assault me and attack me, and they're just looking out for a parent or caregiver with this, and it's fucking hilarious.
Look at him. Okay.
They could be at school, Ben.
Caregiver. A fucking teacher or a dinner lady, guys. Come on. Caregiver.
A responsible adult?
You're not a responsible adult.
I am. My point is, they have a look on their face of absolute confusion and incredulousness that the world just fucked them, but they've got no understanding that they just fucked themselves. And it is fucking hilarious. Old person falls over, completely different.
Nah, still kind of funny.
No, it's really not. I don't know, mate. If you're out in public and you see an old person hit the deck, it's fucking horrible. It gives you that weird feeling in your nuts.
Depends how they go over.
When everything goes... No, it's never... Honestly, it's gross.
It does kind of depend how they go over.
It's gross. No, it's not. Honestly, there's like...
If legs and arms are flailing as they're going, I'm laughing.
No.
Well, does that make me a terrible person?
Yeah.
Kind of puts you on the psychopath scale, to be honest.
Well, like I told you that.
No, seriously. Old people fall, it's horrible. Young people, kids falling is hilarious. They haven't worked out it's their own fault. Anyway, back to the penis being degloved. Is that what we were talking about?
Really.
That was it, yeah. He was degloved. He's wrote a book about it.
Yeah.
Someone will buy it, I'm sure.
What are we looking at now? I'm sorry, we've gone from a gloved penis.
I thought we'd finished. We were going to do...
We're going to do full Alex.
Oh, I am so fucking stupid and ridiculous, but I'm going to admit it. The screen has changed on the computer, hasn't it?
Yes.
That's why I'm confused.
Were you trying to get crazy with this, eh? Don't you know I'm loco?
Alright then, so RWW News. Any idea who that is?
Right Wing Watch.
Laurie Backer says Liberals want to lock Christians away in mental illness centres. Well, I wouldn't consider myself a liberal, but I would do that.
I want to that Christian... Well, it depends how Christian they are.
It is a right-wing Christian they are.
If they're one of them ones that keeps it to themselves and doesn't force it down my throat, I don't want to lock you up.
I'd lock that guy up and give him that fucking postcard the other week. Give him a bit Saturday on this football on. Twat.
He's probably dead by now, Ben. Drug overdose, bless him.
Right Wing Watch News. Laurie Backer says Liberals want to lock Christians away in mental illness centres.
I just challenge all of you to pray for our president, pray for our first lady, pray for our vice president, pray for our second lady and their families. Cover them in the precious blood of Jesus. That no weapon formed against them shall prosper in Jesus' name. We love our president, we love our vice president, we love our first lady, we love our second lady, and they stand up for... We know Vice President Pence does, and Karen does. They stand up unashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ. What's scary for us? And we bet Jim has been preaching it for the past 2 days pretty strong. They're saying it's mental illness. Okay, if the world is
Can't
thinking
even
that
say
we're all
it.
mentally ill, you know what's going to happen next? They're going to put us all away in mental illness centers. I don't know what kind of word to use, but I know one thing. When you've been, as a woman, I'm not in my 50s anymore, but as a woman that was in her 50s, you know what they used to do to women that went through menopause back years ago?
Yeah.
They put them in insane asylums because their hormonal balance was completely off. And I'm not kidding. That's what they did. And I'm not kidding. That's what's going to happen to us as Christians. They're going to lock us up and throw us out if we don't stand up.
Well, it's in the Bible. They're
If
going
we
to do that.
don't
Matthew
stand
4 is
up.
very clear.
Well, it's time to stand up.
It's in the Bible that about Christians in mental illness centres. Yes, did you know that? So have they got to the point now where I can go, this is going to happen? Oh, yeah, is it? It says it in the Bible. With any shred of evidence.
Well, the Bible's gospel, isn't the Bible?
The Bible's gospel.
They believe it's the sacred word of God.
It's going by the book. In a way, I agree with it because they're a dying breed.
No, they're not in America.
Well, yeah, we touched on that earlier, but I think that these extremely extreme
And it's
Christians
starting to creep in over here now. Genuinely is. You've got these fucking UKippers and these gammons thinking it's all about Jesus and this right-wing Christian shit. The EDL touch on that. Britain First are very much into it. It's a fucking religious war.
Let's break down what this...
And me, the likes of us three, who are, between us, variously atheist, agnostic and satanist, we're the enemy. Regardless of what we fucking want, we say, you just get with your fucking life. I don't care. No. We're the enemy. We must be destroyed.
Well, we want to lock them away, don't we? In mental illness centres.
No, Mike, I'd just have them all shot.
So let's break down, for the game show purposes, what is she actually saying? All she really said there, all that I took from it, is that we as Christians are going to be put in mental illness. She couldn't even fucking say it. Christians are going to be locked up in mental illness centres because that's what they did to women in the menopause, apparently.
Well...
So that's essentially her message. Okay. Should we hear Alex then pontificate?
Let's see what Alex has got. Alex Jones says, paedophile spiritual vampires are feeding on the essence of children. I think Alex may have won this one. Let's see what he says.
Look at Hollywood, the whole media. They literally hate Christians. They admit that the persecution of Christians doubled the last 10 years. Yep. They absolutely admit that if they can extinguish that, they believe they can then be God.
You know, atheists should have absolutely no regard for Christianity. They shouldn't even care. Think about it. Are you a Buddhist? No, you're not. I'm not a Buddhist. Do you ever think about Buddhism? Does it obsess you? Does it upset you? Do you go after it? No, you don't. You don't even think about it because you don't believe in it. A true atheist wouldn't care about Christianity. They just look at it as just another religion I don't believe in, whatever. Why is there a vitriolic hatred towards Christianity?
Because the Buddhists aren't trying to take over.
Because it's a spiritual war. It's a bloodlust because it's a spiritual thing that we're talking about here, people. Not necessarily the people may not even realize, but if there's a demon inside them, or if they're not with God or walking in the world and the worldly evil world, they're naturally going to reject what's from God. That's why you see people rejecting Donald Trump. But however, the good news is there's millions and millions of the silent majority that understand what's going on and they're supporting Donald Trump. That's why he won. How did he win? Think about it. How did Donald Trump win?
The spirit of it. They know he's not perfect. He's a wrecking ball. He never was a hypocrite. They instinctively from the beginning understood that it was a weapon against the enemy. Like you said, the way he just doesn't even care what they do to him.
They don't. In fact, in the prophecy, God said they will speak against him, they will throw all the darts, the enemy will throw the darts at him, they will do everything they can, but it will roll off his back like the water rolling off of a duck. Just like the feathers protect the duck, he's protecting the Donald Trump. You know what Donald Trump's been doing since the day he got president? He's been going after the pedophiles. They've been doing raids after raids. Of course, the media doesn't mention this. You got to look at it. Look into it. Seek ye the truth. That's an order from God. Seek ye the truth, because when you go after the truth, you end up to God. That's no matter what. You go after the truth, you end up with God. And look it up. Donald Trump's been sending raids, capturing and finding children in cages waiting to be tortured and ritually sacrificed. He's been saving people. He's been saving children, and he's been arresting pedophiles like crazy, raid after raid.
And that's the thing. It shows up in local news. We cover the news every day. It's everywhere. It's like every day, but never national news. Never. And then they panic more and more. And they have NAMBLA now coming out at the UN, coming out on Vice, coming out at the Huffington Post, coming out on Salon saying, oh, it's okay. So they're trying to normalize it now. It's pure evil because if they're vampires, they psychically want to feed on the children. They can't actually sacrifice them. They want to suck their essence out and ruin their innocence.
Can I start? Can I? Right. I want to tell you, the reason atheists hate Christianity so much is because those cunts are trying to run everyone's fucking life according to their beliefs.
Just like ISIS in Islamic countries.
Yeah, but atheists in America don't have ISIS to run about. They have...
Space ISIS!
Yeah, Space ISIS. And they have right-wing Christians.
Yeah,
like
they
that
have
gentleman
Buddhists trying to take over the government and
like
enforce Buddhist laws.
No. If you're a Christian, I haven't got an issue with that. You do what you fucking want. The minute you start trying to enforce my life according to your beliefs, I have an issue with that. It's very much like I'm eating ice cream in the park. Some guy comes along and says, you can't do that. Why not? Well, I'm a Christian and that's against my beliefs. So you can't do it. There's no difference between those people and ISIS and the Taliban and Islamic extremists. There is no fucking difference. And that's why any sane person...
They want creationism in the schools.
They want creationism in
the schools. They want abortions stopped.
Yeah. It's like, no. You've got a very simple message in the Bible. Don't be a twat. Yeah? Would you agree with that? Very simple message.
Don't covet thy neighbour's bassoon. Or something like that.
When Jesus is mentioned, yeah.
You know?
God is a bit of a cunt.
Yeah. But they're on about the gospel of Jesus Christ. Pretty sure Jesus wasn't against it. Jesus never spoke against abortions. He never spoke against homosexuality. He never spoke against any other myriad of shit that these people seem to fucking wank themselves into a frenzy over. And that's the reason, Alex, and your little mate there, who looks quite Hispanic and will probably be fucking thrown out as soon as Trump gets his way, that, you know, we don't like you very much. Because you're dickheads. Anyone willing to expand on that? Or?
I think they're both essentially saying the same thing, aren't they? The two videos we've played. Christians are being persecuted.
Of course they are. They're being persecuted.
Yeah, it is quite similar, but Alex Jones is saying that the paedophilic spiritual vampires are feeding on the children, where she's saying they want them all thrown in.
Well, he's talking more batshit crazy than her, isn't he? But it's all lumped in the same boat, I think.
I'll go with Alex for the win, as opposed to what he said, and his mate was quite fanatical as well. She was like, her face was so Botox she couldn't actually express emotion. So, you know, there's going to be mental illness centres. Alex says we're all paedophilic spiritual vampires, guys.
Well,
how do you feel about that?
Well, he's not saying we are.
Well, we are, because we're atheists, so...
right, yeah.
We're down with that.
Yeah, I'm agnostic-ish, leaning towards atheism. I just have a different definition, I think, of the word God than they do. But, shit, what was my point? Okay, I'm atheist, but I'm not attacking Christians, because I don't give a shit what you believe.
This is the point.
It doesn't affect me.
Yeah, but when they start pushing their beliefs into your life, that's when you've got an issue.
Well, that's when it annoys me, but...
And that's what they want. They want to push their beliefs into your life.
That's why he's made that stupid comparison with the Buddhists, saying, oh, no one cares about Buddhism. No, because the Buddhism aren't trying to stop young girls who've been raped from getting an abortion.
Well, Buddhists don't try to impose their moralism on government's legislation, do they?
I don't know.
Well, not in America anyway.
That's my point. That's what I'm saying.
In
In the Western world, we haven't got to worry about Buddhists spreading their morals through our political system. But
they're false morals, though, aren't they?
Well,
they're false morals. What they're telling you, what he's trying to tell you, and what that we're trying to tell you is that our morals are right, and whatever you believe is fucking hogwash. Listen to us. Be a nice little brainwashed sheep. Support Donny.
It's all religion, though, isn't it, Ben? The Hindus are probably telling the Sikhs that what they believe is full of shit.
Oh yeah, I don't deny it.
And it's just, I just thank God that wasn't raised. I was christened. I had a religious grandmother, but thankfully it wasn't. Because I met people at uni. Well, I met one person at uni on my floor in the first year, so 20 odd people on a floor, and there was one guy whose name was Barnabas.
Wow.
Believe it or not. Nice guy, but one day. He's a very church-going guy. I went in the kitchen, communal kitchen, and there's a letter on the wall, quite a heartfelt letter, handwritten, saying that essentially, you know, I've had a really good time meeting all you guys the last few months. I think you're all really lovely people, but I worry for you because I know that your souls are going to burn in the fires of hell.
Oh, dear.
Because you haven't let the light of Jesus into your lives, and I don't want that to happen to you guys. And this is the church I go to. Maybe you could turn up and you know, a lot of people obviously.
Did he leave after that?
No. Nobody addressed it. People just, as they do, mocked him behind his back mercilessly. To his face was still fine. I actually found it fairly sweet. But also, I felt sorry for him because I was like, he genuinely believes that to the point where where you're supposed to be ingratiating yourself with everyone. We're all new, we're all living together, we're all going to try and find our place and get on.
Yeah.
Writing a letter like that and leaving it in the kitchen is possibly not the best way to do it. But the guy, intelligent guy, posh guy, obviously believes this to the point where he feels the need to write this letter. And I don't know what my point was, but I guess it's. I haven't been raised, you know, I was going to say thank God. I'm just grateful that I'm not, that never got into me, that I don't, maybe if the drugs ever come back into my life and get really bad, because I did consider the church at dark times in my life, just as somewhere to go.
Say drugs?
No, for somewhere, I looked at the church.
I did a lot of coke on that pew.
No, I got to be honest with you, there were times when I looked at the church as like, that's somewhere I could go, maybe, to ask for some help or like guidance. But thankfully I never did. But it was there, and I can see where some people do get sucked in. But I'm just glad that's not on my radar, and I'm not so angry. And because that guy, I don't know if they really believe what they're saying or they're saying it for views and hits and...
Views, hits and money.
If they really believe it, I feel sorry for them. If they generally feel they're being persecuted based on their religious beliefs in their own country...
Yeah, but they're not.
I feel sorry for them, but... Well, yeah, fuck it.
They're not. And that's the thing. It's just they're making out that persecution to get more donations, to get more support, to get more views. I mean...
Of course they're not persecuted.
America's one of the most Christian countries on the fucking planet, and sadly it's the ones
that the Muslims are being persecuted in that country.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, that travel ban thing. I mean, you know, I read a heartbreaking article. She was an Iranian doctor working in the US. She'd worked there for 15 years, and she'd gone home to see her family. All of a sudden, she couldn't go back to America. She'd got a puppy. She got a house. She was paying a mortgage. She was paying taxes. She worked in a fucking hospital. But she can't come home because she's a Muslim.
Terrible.
I mean, you know, what the fuck is that about? You're not preaching what Jesus said. You're preaching what your fucking dollar says.
Well,
that's it. They warp it to their own.
And anyone that, if you listen to this and you think that you're a fucking Christian like that, you're probably gonna get a lot of me slagging you off. So I
don't think they would have made episode 40 by now.
A valid point.
Yeah. I think when they read the opening line of the show description,
yeah,
I think the first line is a lapsed Satanist. Jesus Christ,
name.
Ben, we're both drunk. Let's wrap this fucker up.
I'm not that drunk. I only had about 10 cans. I'm all right. But no,
by our standards, no, but by broadcasting standards,
I'm going to say that Alex wins it on
Me too.
pure eccentricity.
Mm.
His Hispanic mate, who's going to get kicked out when Trump finally gets what he wants, is preaching to the perverted.
Well, the irony is he'll probably be one of the people building the wall.
Slave labour.
Well, you don't think fucking white Americans are going to build the fucking wall?
Well, no, that'd be the ultimate irony.
Of course they're not
wouldn't
going to build the wall.
It is
It'll
gonna-
be fucking immigrant labour that builds everything.
How's that war going on anyway? I haven't heard about that for a while.
They haven't mentioned the war, has he?
No.
That's because he's got Space Force.
Space Force. Space. Oh man, so easy to get sucked into that.
I've been holding on to this one. I wish I had a better Donald Trump impression, but I'll do my best. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Come on, carry on.
And then the American national anthem just kicks in instead of the Star Wars theme. Space Force. Yeah. Wow.
You know what? I kind of genuinely want to see it. I want to see Solar Warden.
Solar Warden.
And technically, I think, right, he's going to unveil Solar Warden. He's going to go, I want a Space Force, and someone's going to go, Donnie, we've already got it. It's called Solar Warden. Shut the fuck up. And he's going to, because Trump's his own man, he's going to fucking unveil it. Captain Randy Kramer is going to be the fucking daddy on Earth.
The reality of it might end up being, I mean, we're all coming up with grandiose ideas in our mind of what the Space Force could be. I think it's going to be an extension of the Star Wars program. Isn't it just going to be a satellite with guns on it that can shoot people from anywhere?
Only wants an army.
That's Captain America too.
Well, there's no point in the army being up there. Are they going to fight up there?
Space artists.
If they have to come back down to fight people, we send a Space Force up there and they intercept people. What? And then they come back down and have what's the Earth called that begins with T?
Terror
War. They have. That's not Space Force, Donnie. If they're like
I think they're looking at it like Star Trek, like the Federation, but more militarized. So we go out there.
Donald Trump Star Trek.
Yeah, we go out there to explore brave new frontiers. What was the fucking line from Star Trek?
Something like that.
Yeah, the final frontier. We go out there to explore that.
Boldly go.
Boldly go where no man has gone before and explore the final frontier and end up blasting the shit out of it.
No, it's not. Remember when Next Generation started and they were ahead of the ball in terms of gender equality because he changed the line from to boldly go where no man, where no one has gone before, and corrects himself because Kirk used to say where no man has gone before.
Yeah.
Well,
Picard's a superior captain, that's why.
Yeah.
There's only a Picard series actually, and
yeah, but
oh
who
God, what's
would
his
you
name?
want? All right, let's say
What's his name again? Who plays Picard?
Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart.
Let's say
Sir
Ben.
Patrick Stewart.
You know our friend Chris is going to really dig into you for not knowing any of your Star Trek.
I know that.
Yeah. Well, let's just say
I am a little.
You were saying that Picard.
So names are escaping me. At the
You're
moment.
saying that Picard is a superior captain.
Picard is a superior captain.
No, well, let me say to you then. Let's say you were docked at some moon.
Yeah.
You're in a little space bar.
Yeah. We've gone through this before, but I'm going to sing on this.
Okay, well, we'll repeat ourselves there because we have been drinking.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Who do you want on your side in a space bar fight? Captain Kirk or fucking Picard?
Well, what I will say is there wouldn't be a spacebar fight with Picard because he'd smooth it all over. But I also think that while Kirk is a brawler, I think Picard's got some tricks up his sleeve. So I think
he's also.
I think he's a pacifist.
A bald 70-year-old British man. Whereas Captain Kirk, you fucking stick a bottle in some alien cunt's face and shag his girlfriend later that night.
Or kick him in the knee.
Yeah. Well, that's where his genitals are. Look.
I think
all the way.
Because there wouldn't be a fight with Picard because he'd smooth it all over. He's a diplomat, but he's also, remember, Gaz, he's a Federation captain. He's trained in fucking close combat. He's like Kenobi.
I will quote.
He likes to use peaceful things, and he only uses violence as a last resort. Kirk was usually like, "You said what? Smash!
Exactly.
Into the neck."
Like a fucking military man should be. Well, I will.
No, because you've got to have the diplomacy.
Nah, I'll quote Kirk from the movie Star Trek Generations, which I'm a fan of. I know some.
I haven't seen that for a
some fans are.
long time.
Kirk says to Picard, "I was out saving the galaxy while your granddaddy was in diapers." I know that's because of time travel issues, but he's got more experience.
Yeah, comparatively, yes, Kirk is older than Picard in that timeline. Picard's still got like 70 years of experience. He's not a newbie.
No.
He's not a noob, is he?
I'll be honest, I agree. I might prefer Picard as the actual
I'd want
captain
Picard
on
as
the
my
ship.
captain because I know that I'm probably not going to die under his fucking leadership. As Kirk, I go, hey, Klingon warbirds, let's fucking have him!
He's just not as sexy though, is he?
I couldn't
Picard,
give two
he's just
fucks.
not
My
as
best
sexy.
chance of survival, keeping my fucking fragile meat sack intact, lies with Picard. That's whose side I'm on. Mike, what do you say?
Whatever her name was from Voyager.
Oh, fuck off. No one likes her.
You're so liberal.
No one likes her, Mike.
Mike is so left-wing, he flies in circles.
I'm on the research vessel or whatever it was.
No, go on, Picard or Kirk?
It's got to be Picard. I'm
There
afraid.
you go, it's a superior
It's gotta be.
captain. That is my vote of the two most influential people on this podcast, my friend. The science officer and the researcher. You're just the journalist.
You're misguided.
He said like a right-wing Christian now.
You're misguided. Let's break it down.
Are you going to tell me you're going to lock you in a mental illness camp at some point?
If it was
Based on what?
Look, if it was a war, then I'd want to be with Kirk.
Never
Yeah, but it
mind
wouldn't
just
be a war with Picard.
But if it's peacetime, then I want to be.
But
Never
there
mind
wouldn't be a
war.
war with
Alright.
Picard.
Never mind war, think about your downtime on the ship. Do you want to be listening to classical music and taking cocks up your bum with fucking Picard, like enjoying
He's not taking cocks up his bum.
No, I've seen the way he walks. Enjoying opera.
That's harsh, man.
Enjoying a bit of opera, or do you want to be smashing fucking shots down your throat with fucking Picard and being like, so what are your tips for shagging green women? Anyway.
No, I must admit the
I'm
green
talking
women.
economics with Picard.
Exactly,
Mike's
talking
talking
about philosophy.
Mike's talking about fractal reserve banking and philosophy.
Well, there
of
is
The
a
Picard.
philosophy of intergalactic banking
No,
with Picard
no,
in the
see,
corner.
No, they've got a resource-based economy in Star Trek.
Fuck
Oh,
me.
now you see, at that point, I want the best of both. In that scenario, Gaz, I want the best of both worlds. I want Picard to ensure I'm safe, but I also want Kirk's fucking address to the Green Woman brothel.
Everything Picard fucking knows is built off of the back of Kirk's fucking pioneering experiences. He was
But he
one of the
obviously-
fucking first to go out there, to boldly go.
He
when
may
no
have
man
been,
had gone before.
but he went there gung-ho, balls out, cock up, and just went for it.
Didn't
Picard's
die,
like,
did he?
you know what?
How did
Hey,
he die? How did he die? Saving the fucking crew of the fucking Enterprise.
So
Next
I would expect
Generation.
any captain to do that.
Listen, the fact that we're arguing over Star Trek makes it sound to the listener that I'm a fucking Trekkie. I'm not a fucking Trekkie.
No, none of us
Let's
are,
just
in all
make
fairness.
that
We just watched it when we were younger.
Extremely casual Star Trek fans. We're just drunk. Fucking hell. Let's wrap it up. How long have we been going?
It's been about 10 minutes on Star Trek.
3 hours and 12. So, in summary, the Titanic was a fucking insurance fraud. Alex Jones is the craziest, and Picard's a superior captain. I'm going to say that I've been Ben, and you can check out us on Facebook at Apocalypse Bull. Cutting to the bull in the post of the Apocalypse, sorry. You can follow us on Twitter at Apocalypse Bull. And you can buy shit from us. There's a pinned post at the top of the page.
Not necessarily shit.
Not necessarily
We don't
shit.
shit in a box and send it.
Unless that's your if you specifically want me to shit in a box and FedEx it you, I will for the right price.
What's the right
Inbox
price?
me.
I'm intrigued. What's the right price?
12 quid.
12 quid? Wow.
Well, it's no effort on my part, is it?
Oh, no.
Shitting in a box.
No, it's not, no. Although we haven't got one of the Tupperware container.
Just shit in a bag.
Yeah, it's in a bag. Fuck it, freezer bag. That'll do. Anyway, so if you want that, that's 12 quid.
Shit in a crisp packet.
So if you want that, that's 12 quid from Gaz.
I'm not in a nightclub queue in Burnley. Oh,
Fucking
Lord.
Burnley.
Jesus, if this is your first episode, welcome.
Yeah.
It's always like...
It must be said that me and Gaz probably are slightly more drunk due to the hot weather, Saturday recording, nice afternoon.
And the England hype train, despite your reservations, Ben, it's still the fires are... Mike, we're still in it, aren't we?
We're still in it.
We haven't been knocked out, so why dampen the hype train if we're still in it?
There's no... You got to have just sort of a bit of perspective. We haven't won a knockout stage since 2006.
And the first serious game we had, we changed the team round and lost. I would put the strong... I would have had the fucking weaker team out against Belgium and Panama and the stronger team against Belgium, personally.
The Great Escape, come on. Ba-ba.
Yeah,
we're definitely pissed. Let's say good night.
Right, so yeah, I've been Ben, and I'm going to say don't drink the Flavour Aid and don't join a cult.
I'm going to say I'm Gaz. Hello. Goodbye. Free Biff Tannen. I apologise for my behaviour this evening. Good night.
I've been Mike. Thanks for listening. Peace out. May the force be with you. I'm always end on that now.
I'll also apologise for saying that we should probably shoot right-wing Christians. Maybe went a bit too far. Maybe that mental illness sent us better. But anyway, good night.
James Kirk for the win.